All right, welcome. We are finally live with the Xbox 2, episode 269. Well, I'm one of your hosts, Randall Thor 19, the man with the million. It's going to be a hype show today. Jez Corden, my usual partner, is in LA doing LA tings. You know what I mean? Rubbing shoulders with all those influencers and executives. But I had to call in a favor. I had to call... the show's got to go on. You can't just be like, oh, it's 2 days before the showcase. I can't not do the show. So I had to put in the call. And I was like, I need the sauce. And the one man responded. And he's like, I'm here. So we got special co-host today, the one and only Gaz from Game On Daily. He's here. Oh, it's going to be a good one, Gaz.
Am I famous now? Am I famous, Brad?
The sauce is known worldwide, Gaz. Come on.
I am so hyped. I am so grateful to be here because Brad's my good bud. We talk all the time, and this is going to be one of those shows. Well, not only is it because I'm talking to my friend, but I'm talking to my friend on the eve of, well, not the eve, but near the eve of the Xbox showcase. For ages we've been talking about it. Talking crap all this time. It's so close. I can taste it. I can taste you, Rand. I can taste the chat. I can taste everything right now.
I mean, that is quite the intro. And Gaz we were talking about, hey, I asked him last week, I'm like, Jez is really busy this upcoming week. Really busy. He's going to LA. Everybody's in LA, bro. I feel left out. It was like Colt's in LA, Cognito's in LA. Right, like Idle Sloth is in LA. I know. And have you seen his pic? He looks like a Chad, bro.
I know.
He looks like a Chad, right?
I know. I did not expect him to look the way he did, bro. Why is everyone tall? Are all Americans tall?
We are. I mean, I'm 6'2". You know.
Oh my god, I'd look like an Oompa Loompa next to you guys. But yeah, Rand, did we make a mistake? I think we made a mistake.
I mean, Jez wasn't going to go. That was like a last minute thing, right? And even Cognito and Attic weren't going to go. It was just kind of like Colt and Hargeet and, like Risk It for the Biscuit. And it was just like, maybe next year. And then all of a sudden, like, people, I'm going. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Jez was like, I'm going. And then it's like, well, I still got Gaz, right?
I know we were holding each other alone, but we should have been there because it feels like, I don't want to speak, well, we'll talk about everything, but it feels like we might have missed out on being in LA when the perfect storm is brewing. I'm hyped. And you know me, how dismissive I was of Xbox before. I'm hyped.
Yeah, you were.
Maybe I'm fickle. There
was
a lot of stuff still do it to this day. I get a lot of that, but I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm not saying it, chat. Just so you think this on YouTube, but he's just trying to build hype. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. And I feel really salty that I'm not there. I booked the annual leave. I booked the leave from Thursday. I'm not working all of next week. I've been sat here sweating, making a Source video, and I really regret not going, man. Because I feel like, you weren't there, and that's a big reason for me to go. I'm really, really going to see my friends, and the showcase. Fine, obviously the environment and it will be hyped, but well, next year, Rand, me and you, we're going next year. We're gonna go to the showcase. You know what? Forget the showcase. We're gonna get blackjack. We're gonna get hookers. It's gonna be the best time.
Oh, it definitely is. Chaos Might said, I thought this show would have more people. The bigger show with more people is next Friday. Next Friday, we're going to have... Because me and Jez are going to do the reaction show on Tuesday, because he's flying back on Monday. So we'll do a show with Jez after the Xbox Extended Showcase, which will be all of our reactions to everything. And then that Friday, we're going to have a big Xbox 2 with some special guests. Maybe even Gaz will return for that episode to talk about. But we're gonna have a lot of people next Friday. This week was just like everybody's gone. It's like, who do I turn to? Who do I trust? I need the sauce. So that's why.
I'm honored.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done the show. And I want to do the show because it's 2 days before the showcase, and we already got leaks. We got Geoff Keighley doing Geoff Keighley things. You know, I'm sure Gaz has something to say along the lines of the PlayStation representation in this showcase. You know what's funny? Let me tell a story to chat really quickly.
Story time.
We know how Gaz was hyping up the PlayStation show, was saying that PlayStation was gonna murk Xbox, right? Gonna murk him.
Yes.
He was deathly afraid for Xbox.
I was.
He called me on WhatsApp, and we had a 2-hour conversation.
No lie. Yeah.
And I was like,
2 hours.
because Gaz was like, they're gonna show Wolverine, they're gonna show this, they're gonna show that, and I'm like, are you sure, Gaz? I mean, I don't know. The showcases aren't really like that anymore. He's like, they're gonna do it, Ghost of Tsushima 2, Wolverine. Oh my god! And like he was just like, Xbox is gonna be so dead afterwards. And I'm like, and then what happened? What happened, guys?
Oh my god! Oh, a beautiful thing. No, I mean a bad thing. That was a great thing. No, okay, I'll try not to be toxic, but let's be honest. No one expected this. I mean, this is the worst showcase I've ever seen from PlayStation. You may look. I swim in the sauce. Console warring is my bread and butter. That's the way I'm inclined. I'm sorry. I'm like that. But that has a direct effect on the energy going forward to the Xbox showcase. If anyone is denying that a big part of the energy right now in the Xbox camp is a result of PlayStation's missteps, Summer Game Fest not being all that great, because that's not an E3 replacement to me. I was like, okay, a couple of great showings, but I'm missing E3 already. But now it's just like Xbox will have, I'm very confident, will have the best show this summer. And
won't be that hard.
The big part of it is PlayStation's failure. Well, I don't want to jinx things, but yeah.
You better be careful. Someone asked in chat who hyped up the PlayStation show more, Gaz or Jez? And it's like, ooh.
I did, because I used the word. I can't even use it. It might get demonetized. But I did. I was being honest. I was just like, yeah, man, like 2 years, everyone's hyped the showcase event. Well, of course they're gonna go hard. They've already got these first-party studios. What do you think they're gonna do? They have so much they haven't shown, and I didn't even, I was like, what's the worst case scenario? Well, what would that leave? Where would that leave Xbox? I didn't factor at all the showcase where the highlights are Gran Turismo movie trailer, Cat Quest, and Foam Stars. So like, yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a great show. Make sure you follow Gaz on Twitter and sub to his YouTube channel. He's got 2 now. He's doing big things. Game On Daily and Septic Sauce, his own personal channel. But let's get some housekeeping done. We can get into the show proper and hype things up. If you guys do us a huge favor, make sure you hit the like button, please. And subscribe. We're very, very close to 95,000. 5 away from 100K. And when I hit that 100K, you might get an episode of Xbox 2 with the camera on, potentially. So there's always that to look forward to. But this week, Xbox 2 is sponsored by HelloFresh. So with HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Figuring out what's for dinner is not at the top of anyone's summer activity wish list. HelloFresh delivers mouth-watering, chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients to your door so you can spend your summer doing, well, whatever you want, like watching the Xbox showcase on Sunday. With me, because I'll be streaming it live. Need dinner ready like now? Look for quick and easy recipes on the HelloFresh menu, including fast and fresh options ready in just 15 minutes or less. This summer, spend less time meal planning and prepping with HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients that make it easy to get cooking quick. And I've been using HelloFresh pretty much all week, guys. I've kind of on the diet train.
Diarrhea?
Actually none. But it's one of those things where I don't like going out to the store and buying stuff. So I use HelloFresh.
Yeah.
They deliver it directly to the door. I get all the ingredients I need, and I cook it up. And, you know, the most important thing is that it's quick and easy, and it's actually good food. Like, I love the taste of it all. And I'm someone who's very picky. So HelloFresh, it's keeping me on the, you know, my weight loss journey, right? There was some time there around the time my grandpa and my dog died. I kind of was just like, wasn't feeling it, so I kind of gained some weight back, but now I'm kind of back into everything. So HelloFresh is helping me do that. So if you guys want some, they have a very generous deal. So you can go to hellofresh.com/Xbox216 and use the code Xbox216 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/Xbox216 and use code Xbox216 for 16 free meals plus shipping. The link is in the description, and I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this episode. But that's not all. We have the wonderful people at Patreon. I don't have access to the Patreon. That's Jez. Jez controls all of that. So if there's any new shoutouts, I wouldn't know because I don't have access to it. Questions are up for anybody that wants to leave a question that me and Gaz will answer towards the end of the show. Make sure to drop your question in there. But we have the Grandest of Bip, Chris Parney, Starsman, Hey Blinken, The Bearded Tate, Sleets, XZ, Army Dude 52C, Mr. Butterjeans, William Schumacher, Ryan Kipple, Foreign Object, Mythic Marty, Tyler, Gunstar 75, Moronic Donkey 99, C Money, Mario Kart Madman on YouTube, Mockazilla, PS5, the new PS3 era, Randall Thor 19, Silas, Eric Gregory, Elijah Vasquez, James Moore, Halo is the franchise player, Katriax, Ricky Fallon, Bright Tundra 1, Jasper Shapp, Joseph Campbell, Ponybot Worcester Sauce, Mr. Joanna Dark, Justin Duel.
Wait.
What?
It's not Worcester. It's
Whatever.
Worcester.
Worcester Sauce. I say it how I say it. I say it the American way. Mr. Joanna Dark, Justin Duel, Frank Mariano, PB Broking, Justin Miller, Asa T, and Madison, Untidy Tim, Grizzy Mofo, OG, Governor Grimm, DZ, Huffin, Justin Sago, Andrew Courtney, Wagerman, Achievement, The Scarecrow 121, Darren Tropy, Professor JJJ, Butterball 8, Ghostface Killa, Wolfgang, KPZ, and Ralph Wiggum. Thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon. You can go there, patreon.com/XB2. Link is in the description. We got Paris coming on for an Xbox 2+1 episode sometime after the showcase. We need to lock down those details. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to HelloFresh and all the Patreons. Yeah. So, Gaz, we got some super chats to get through really quickly, buddy. And then it's time to bring the sauce. Okay?
Oh, I'm ready.
We got Achievement who says it's appropriate not to replace Jez with an Aussie. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't gotten a message from Special Nick yet. Because normally, if Jez can't do the show, Special Nick will be like, you could have asked me.
But you need Xbox gamers. You don't need
That is
Nintendo
true.
gamers,
That is true. I need an Xbox gamer who plays Xbox games, who's excited for Xbox games. I'm not looking for a Nintendo fan that hosts an Xbox podcast, essentially.
Oh, shots fired.
Shout out to Nick. I'm sure. Yes.
Sorry.
I'm sure he's probably not listening yet, but when he sees that you're the co-host, he's gonna be like, "Where's my invite?"
I'm all right, mate. Why'd you get that, Gaz, mate? I'll be on here. Listen, Special Nick, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, not you. He's gonna be there. I bet you he's gonna be there. In the chat, you'll see his face. I can see Jesse whispering into his ear.
Yeah, I know Jesse's here. Jesse loves the Xbox too. And it's one of the best reasons I listen to Xbox Era, honestly. It ain't for Nick. It's for John and Jesse, you know? Glitch Doctor says today's guest is a very special Gaz. Indeed it is.
Oh.
Very special. Let's see. I always hate how YouTube pushes things up and they don't like record the member chats. We got Adam F, member for 19 months. Holy beep, it's Gaz. Let's effing go. Also, it's really cool to see the Xbox community get hyped. Hopefully, Xbox can deliver. Oh, man, they better deliver. Aaron Greenberg's out there not tempering any expectations whatsoever.
I know, right? That's very uncharacteristic of him because he normally goes out on a limb to say, hey, guys, just calm it down. And this time, he's like, no, go. And I know you're not allowed to say the things that we've been hearing in the background, but you're just getting me so hyped.
Well, I mean, you know, I know a few things at the show. And I will say few. That's like, it's a lot different than in years past. So it's one of those things where I'm gonna be. I mean, I put out my prediction video, right? And I kind of laid out what I thought was going to show up. It's very difficult to kind of get a sense of third parties and stuff. Like, for instance, I thought Cyberpunk's DLC expansion was going to be at Summer Games Fest. So I didn't include it in my prediction. But it wasn't at Summer Games Fest, which means more than likely, 99% likely, because there's always a chance it's not, that Cyberpunk DLC is going to be at Xbox's show, right?
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba. I don't know if he'll be on stage.
So lucky. They're gonna see him. I think. Why not? Isn't there a stage?
Well, I guess he could have flown out to Microsoft to do something. Yeah, maybe, or recorded
they got
something.
Nicolas Cage in. I'm sure they can get Idris Elba in. Idris Elba. Oh, this is a. I should have gone, but yeah, I didn't think of that. That's a good shout.
No, yeah. So like, there's that. And so, like, there's things that I thought were going to be at Summer Games Fest that are probably at Xbox now. But, like, I really focused on most of just, like, the first party. Like, what from first party I thought was going to be there. And there's a couple things in there that I know are right. And the rest is kind of just educated guesses, more or less. Some will be right, some will be wrong. But I'm really super pumped to see what Xbox... I mean, because, let's be honest, guys. They got to bring it, right? They have to. Right? It's... You know, kind of the same reason why I was kind of down on the PlayStation show was after Spider-Man 2, what is there? And when is there? You don't know anything. You don't know the roadmap.
Yeah.
And the same thing kind of exists for Xbox at this point. What's coming after Forza Motorsport? I don't know. I mean, we know the games that are all announced, but we don't know when they're coming. So Xbox to me is like, all right, this is the time to shine. PlayStation basically shit themselves on the court trying to play. Summer Games Fest, you know, they came in there and they did a nice lap. It's time for Xbox to just take off like Jordan from the free throw line and just dunk it on everybody. You know?
Absolutely. This is the time to do it, bro. Like, this is the perfect storm. Like I said, last year they crapped the bed royally to the point where Phil Spencer was like, "Yeah, no, we did. It was diarrhea all over the place." Now, like. You're not going to get an opportunity like this, and this year is so fundamentally important for the long-term proposition of Xbox. I really think that. I know we gamers are very fickle and we have like short memories, but I think really this is a very important year for Microsoft, for Xbox as the brand, and to really try and build up the momentum they lost last year. They lost a lot of goodwill and momentum with their complete absolute silence. Yeah, ABK, whatever the reason is, this is the year they need to go really hard. And really now the PlayStation, everyone's thinking the Summer Game Fest was going to be the second magical secret PlayStation show to make up for their absolutely lackluster one. But Xbox can't afford to make a misstep. Already, yes, I know it's hard. Even I have to remind myself, Rand. Like, I keep thinking, well, you know, you've shown me Starfield. I'm already more hyped than the whatever PlayStation show. Starfield alone completely eclipses anything that the PlayStation showcased for me. So, but if you have to take that away, pull that to the one side, the PlayStation showcase to one side, on its own, Xbox still needs to deliver. It has to deliver. Phil Spencer said it needs to deliver, and this is the thing, which is why I'm very grateful for the Kind of Funny interview. He was given some specific, almost parameters which he needs to abide by. So we know that they have to be more upfront and transparent about games where they're being played, or whether it's a PC version, is that an Xbox version? That needs to happen. So that's a smaller thing. Ideally, we need to see things running on the Series consoles, because Phil Spencer, with his own mouth, said, I hear it. We want console gamers to feel like first-class citizens. You know, that word, the verbiage he used, it's pretty... It was speaking to us, because that's where the core content creators were saying, all of us were saying, I was saying, like, it feels like Xbox gamers are like second-class citizens. And one of the way you need to do that is really show Series X power, because the power thing is up in the air. It's not performing in the way we wanted it. We wanted a big gulf between the Series X and the PS5, and that's not even happened at all. So I am hoping they do that. I hope they show off more Series X things. Not the end of the world, but I think there should be a priority. And Xbox Series fans, including myself, I would be a bit disappointed if that didn't happen. So if on the back of what Phil Spencer said, are you actually expecting these trailers to be running on Series consoles?
I mean,
or gameplay to.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, like there's this trailer for the Diablo launch gameplay trailer, which had like text that said captured on PC with Xbox settings. And, you know, we'll talk about what Aaron said, but Aaron said like things are going to be labeled. So I would imagine if things are going to be properly labeled, they'll also be like, hey, this is captured on an Xbox Series X, or this is captured on a PC at Xbox settings. I think they want to be more transparent about everything because I think they were burned completely by Redfall, right? They showed Redfall on PC, 60 frames per second every single time, and then lo and behold, Arcane couldn't get 60 FPS ready in time. Phil was like, we should have engaged with them earlier, but they didn't. And they had to put like stickers covering up the 60 FPS on the game box. Completely taken off guard about like what that game was going to deliver. And that's partly, I mean, let's be honest, it's Arcane's problem. It's Arcane's fault. They're the developer. They didn't get the game working at 60 FPS. They're the ones who said it would be 60 FPS. But Microsoft's the one who's going to play the ultimate price because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they're hands off or there's limited immigration because it all comes back around to Xbox, right? Yeah. So they're the ones promoting at their shows, running the trailers that Arcane made at 60. And I think Xbox wants to completely avoid that moving forward, right? So things, I think they'll completely label like, okay, this is what it's shown at. This is, I don't know if they'll have the frame rate on there, but I think Redfall really scarred them, as it should, honestly.
I'm glad it did. And I'm glad it was Redfall as opposed to something like Starfield, although we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, Redfall, I was saying this to Colt. By the way, Colt was telling me a lot of people, I don't know if I should say this. Well, I mean, it's not a big deal. A lot of people who were there, who are there now, felt everyone was feeling kind of hard done by when those who went to the event, you know, the Redfall event, because they were given this tiny glimpse, 1 hour show. Yeah, they've been fooled, and really that, and the more we hear about what actually happened, it really is Arcane as opposed to Xbox, by Xbox and Phil Spencer. Shout out, you know, and I'm not just saying this; people, you should know that by now. I don't pander to anyone, but I do praise Phil Spencer for taking it, being vicariously liable as he should be, and taking responsibility. I think it tactically works well because then he can in the future set that mandate for other studios and say, hey, look, there's my neck on the line. So if you mess up, whoever studio you are, is going to be me. So and my team needs to come in and check. So there's a good thing with, if Redfall was, look, it was, everyone was saying, look, if it's an 84 meta, this is what I was saying, and a lot of people are saying this, it'll be a great game because that looks like a decent score. That means the stakes weren't that high. So if Redfall has to be the sacrificial lamb, a game that the long-term proposition of it was questionable anyway, even when it did look good, then let Redfall be the sacrificial lamb, which it is now. I don't want that to happen to Starfield. I'm quite confident in Starfield.
Could you imagine if you're watching the show, right? You're going to be streaming it on your channel. I'll be streaming it on mine. You're enjoying it. And then you see Redfall show up and they're like, play at 60 FPS right now.
Oh my God! No one cares about 60 FPS Redfall. Do not, Microsoft, listen to Randall.
I mean, that wasn't in my predictions. That wasn't in mine. But we have super chat here from Danny Passion Official. I was hyped for the Xbox showcase even before Sony announced their trash case. So Gaz, stop it already. Don't forget that Xbox can't compete. And a bunch of laughing emojis. We have Meowzabub saying, my good friend Roby Phelps is having his second kid in August. He loves this show. Can you tell him congrats? Thanks, guys. Congrats, Robbie, for having your second kid coming this August. That's incredible. Shout out to Meowzabub, your friend, for letting us know. That's crazy. Should you name him Jez, or would you name your kid Rand? I guess or if it's a girl, I guess I don't know.
Colt.
Oh. I mean, come on, guys. Colt's gonna. He's having the time of his life right now, bro. He loves it.
He is doing the bloody X sign with Aaron Greenberg. Aaron, nothing personal, but if I'm sitting at a table with you, I'm not doing that silly X sign.
You're not going to do the silly X sign?
Unless he gives me a scoop.
But it wasn't just Colt. It was Cognito. It was Addict. It was Riskit. They're doing the X sign, bro. It's all about fun and games.
It is true. It's true. It's so I saw some ponies on Twitter getting really salty. Oh, these guys are so cringe, and this is this other guy doing it. I'm like, the guy who was saying it's so cringe. His whole existence is cringe. Shut the. Anyway, it's not. It's part of the spirit of fun when you're there. You're with friends. Like a Photoshop. You're having fun. People don't even leave their house. Touch some grass, people, and understand that obviously when you go to these things, you're meeting real people. There's an energy there. You can't qualify in words. Everyone's really hyped to have you. You're meeting these people you've never, you may have talked to for ages, for weeks, days on party chat, and you finally meet them, and you're there sitting next to Aaron Greenberg or Phil Spencer, and obviously it's gonna, make you feel a certain way. You get involved. So I was making fun of Cole on WhatsApp. I'm like, you sad piece of. But generally, it's like it's not a big deal. It's like it's nice. Like let them have fun. Let them have fun. And but I won't do that.
I mean, I probably would have done it. It is all about fun at the end of the day, right? We got Dream Eater. Is there any hope of Banjo making a comeback? Grew up playing both the 64 games and would love to have the Dopey Bear and Bird back, either a remake or part 3. What do you think, guys? You think there's a chance Banjo returns?
I think so. I think it's an easier one because the prospect of selling a platformer is quite. Microsoft is quite diverse in its portfolio anyway, and in order for Game Pass to hit all the notes it needs to, by necessity, it needs some kind of depth in its portfolio. And Banjo has, Microsoft they hear it all the time. But Banjo is that big thing, that one of those big, and Microsoft needs those big announcements, and Microsoft will want to cater for a broader audience with like the Minecraft audience, plus double dip on the nostalgia and hype of the older crowd. So Banjo has been whispered for a very long time, and I would not be shocked. I just hope it's not actually, it could be the one more thing, but I just feel like I'd rather it'd still be good.
Look,
me personally wouldn't want it, but it's still be good. Like,
I want Banjo to come back for my Banjo bros, right? All my Banjo bros out there love. Exactly. Here's the thing, and you know what? There's a part of me that would even be okay with it ending the show because I know how much it would piss off Colt. Like Colt be there watching live with everybody.
Love the camera to pan into his face
and just pan to him. It's like, we got one more thing, and everybody's super excited, and it's Banjo, and everybody screams except Colt, and he's just got this horrible look on his face. Like, it would be perfect just for that. I would want to
be perfect. But I wouldn't hate it. I'll be happy. I can be happy for other people.
Yeah, I can totally be happy for other people, except for the people that want Scalebound.
Yeah, definitely. They deserve to be happy.
Yeah, we don't want that. So I do think it could come back. I think it will come back. I think they'll make a remake, but I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, MVG and Nate, the Hate did their show last year. MVG is a developer. He's a really great dude. And then they talked about how when they were at GDC, people were talking about Banjo as like it was an actual game under development. But they didn't know when it would come out and stuff, so it was kind of like, so they pretty much put it out there that at least they heard there is a Banjo game in the works, but who knows, how long games take to make these days, right? Especially if you're remaking Banjo 1, it's probably, I think it'll come at some point, I'm just not sure when, right?
I mean, that combined with like Hazardor says with Fable, that would be pretty mega, man. I mean, that's one of those big ones. That is a big one. Like you say, the what was it, 2018? No, when was it? When Sony had the big 3 ad, The Lost Guardian.
That was like E3 2015. The E3 of Dreams, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue 3, and Last Guardian. Yeah, that was 2015.
2 of which were rubbish in my opinion, but still. Yeah, I mean that one. Banjo is up there in terms of hype. Like, big gamers have been asking for it. Xbox gamers have been asking for a long time. Would it be Rare who's still working on it?
No, Rare wants nothing to do with any of their older IP. It'd be some other dev. And the question is, who is a dev that could really make a good platformer in this day and age? I mean, Toys for Bob exists. They're the ones you do Crash. But I mean, Activision's still not owned by Xbox, and they would be the developer I would want to have make Banjo. But I mean, they're releasing a new Crash game, which is like a 4v4 brawler. They're kind of also doing stuff on Call of Duty. They'd be the perfect developer to bring back Banjo, but maybe you can't like wait for the Activision deal to get done. I mean, there's some other developers maybe you could go to, like Platonic or the X-Rare people, that made like Ukulele and stuff, I guess. But we'll just have to find out. We have a super chat here from Jax82. Gaz comes with the music and curses like a sailor.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh, what's this?
It's an Arab song. You wouldn't know.
Okay. We have Lee Bailey. Wow, first time catching the show live. Always listen the day after on Spotify. Hands down my favorite podcast. Ooh. I mean, every single episode, guys, we have people coming and saying, hey, my first time catching the show live. Normally I watch on Spotify or iTunes, and that's why we provide the show, on those other platforms. We've been doing it for a long time. You guys you guys put your show on audio and stuff, right?
Yeah, we do. We even have video support on Spotify.
Oh, look at you go. Yeah.
Look at Asa does it all. I'm terrible.
Yeah, Asa does it all. But yeah, I'm always like for like, hey, more. I want more people to watch the show, but I don't necessarily want. It's like I would love for you guys to watch it on YouTube, obviously, right? But if you can't or don't want to, or it's better for you to watch it on Spotify or iTunes or anywhere else, I'm all for that too. Because more people watching it makes me happy. So that's why there's options. It's not just only YouTube. It's pretty much everywhere else. So thank you, Lee, for dropping by, checking out the live show. Sorry that Jez isn't here, but he is going to be talking to Xbox execs this week, Gaz. And on Patreon, he's kind of like, drop me some questions, and I'll choose some of the best ones to ask the Xbox executive. So it'll be very interesting when he gets back about the things he was told, the things that he's heard, right? Like, I really cannot wait for him to get back. Or like DM me, like, bro, I just heard this. XYZ type stuff. You know what I mean?
Just anything. He's gonna get the cold shoulder from everyone at Xbox. I'm like, no, you stay away. You don't even come close, because you. I don't know. How do you think he's met? Like with the Xbox exec?
I mean,
surely
the
conversation is gonna be but the conversation must be awkward. No, it's like, oh, hey, you.
I don't think so.
Do you
think it's awkward because he leaked like the developer direct? I'm sure there's people
avowed.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people at the studios that don't like him for that. But Jez is. I
think he actually did a good thing with Pentiment. Actually, I think Jez is responsible for the hype that Pentiment had, because Pentiment, if it got revealed the way it did without Jez, I don't think it would have had as anywhere near the hype. Because this is the time where people were speculating, and it's like Pentiment is coming from the studio. You're like, what, really? And there was a lot of hype. Pentiment is a name I will recall because Jez hammered it in our heads. Had it not been for him, everyone would have brushed it off as, oh, that's a weird, quirky looking game. It's like, okay. But I don't think people would have remembered it. Jez was the reason why and Jez is the reason why we're still holding on to information on Avowed. Like, mechanically, he saw it 2 years ago.
I saw it as well. He showed me the footage. Ooh. I've seen it, but I mean, that was from a build from 2021. I know the game's gone through some changes, it's getting bigger. I'm very interested in seeing exactly how much bigger. So we're going to have some interesting stuff to talk about on Tuesday next week. Both of our reactions to the show, plus, maybe super secret things Jez was told. It'll be a lot of fun. We have Gunstar 75. He says, aliens have landed now. Well, I'm sure I've seen that Hargeet dude on 3 podcasts at the same time as he was in LA. Be afraid, the lizard people are here. Yeah, Hargeet, he's out there repping RDX.
I love Hargeet.
And he's on like every podcast. I mean, that's just kind of Hargeet, isn't it?
It is Hargeet. It's good. And did you catch him? Like the little. I put it on Twitter. You could see him on the Summer Game Fest in the front row.
I did.
Yeah, It's just beaming smile. That's why you just love you love Huggy because you're always smiling.
I mean, it's funny. As soon as I knew they were sitting in the first row, like Colt and all them, and then that like immediately the show starts and they pan right to that first row. I'm like, look at them all right there, front and center. I was like, are you serious? That is so cool.
That is wicked.
Somebody asked me later on that day, he's like, was that Jason Ronald sitting in the front? I'm like, no, that was Hargeet. No, that was Hargeet. Yeah, someone's like, was Jason Ronald sitting there? No,
easy mistake to make.
But Hargeet's got. I mean, he's doing podcast galore. He's got RDX on Tuesdays. He does Boom Show, Primetime Gaming on Wednesdays. He's got that new podcast that freaking mother Zocker was running now on Thursdays, right? Like he's everywhere. Yep. He's doing everything.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Okay. Well, we have super chat here from Captain Chats. Says, as an Xbox guy for 20 years, I was down a few weeks back, but I'm hyped for Sunday. I just pray we are not disappointed. Is this finally the year we've been waiting for? I hope so. It's crunch time. I mean, everybody's got their fingers crossed, and we'll be talking about the hype because Aaron Greenberg said some stuff and what Gaz expects to show. I mean, I think it would be if we left the Xbox showcase feeling like we did about the PlayStation showcase, then that would not be a good thing whatsoever, right?
I don't even know how that could happen. But
yeah, you never know, bro. Things can happen.
You never know. I never know. I've been in this space for too long. I've seen it happen when I thought it was a short. We saw it with the PlayStation one as a perfect example. But yeah, look. You know what? No, shut up, Rand. What the hell are you talking? You, man. This is the hype. Everyone,
it is the hype.
We're gonna get lit and temper nothing. We're gonna go, and it's gonna be a sick show. It's gonna be a sick show. Shut up about it's gonna be. You know what? No more, Rand. I don't even want to hear that now. Look, we just go in. Like, let's just go all in. Let's just go all in.
Put all the chips.
It's time.
All the chips in the middle of the table. Put them all in.
That's what. No limit Texas Hold'em. It's the only way to go. Go all in, all day, and all day. You check. You trap me. Anyone who gets that reference, you're a G. But yeah, no, I'm going all in. I just can't do it. I just can't do it anymore. Like, and this is me, the guy who's. I'm not even talking. Fuck. Okay. Anyway, Rand told me not to swear. I'm trying not to swear. But you know what? A whole year of complaining and whinging and getting it from the community. I'm like, all you do is complaining while you sat there and capped that failure. And I was like, okay, but I had a valid reason to complain. And I'm sick of crying and whinging about Microsoft. I just want to just have faith. And now I'm broken. I'm like here, my anus is tight from like holding the line in a different way. And I just want to go hype. So I'm going to go hype. You know what? I don't care if you clip it. All the ponies, you can watch it. I'm going in. I'm holding the line with King David. And if I get flambéed, I'm going to get flambéed. Microsoft is going to kill it. It's going to freaking kill it because they have games that PlayStation are going to get shat on. Forza alone will absolute chronically diarrhea on Gran Turismo or anything on PlayStation. You're going to get Starfield, and no studio of PlayStation can even replicate that. Why are you mentioning PlayStation the same? But shut the f***, I'm the source boss. But, you know, I am finally here. Redfall was a big failure. Let that fail. That's gone. Now we are seeing the pedigree. We've seen Starfield. We've seen it look off screen. Even if it's 30, and I've resigned to the fact that it'll most likely be 30. If it's anything more than 30, I'm happy. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I'm happy. And I know Starfield is going to kill it. And that's got its own freaking show after the showcase. And we're so spoiled. Potentially. So you've got that, and then you've got Forza. I mean, look, can we just go into the games, Rand? Like, I've been sitting here. I just want to talk about what's going to be shown. I know you know stuff.
What do you think I know?
People, he knows stuff. I know he knows stuff, and he just won't say it. And don't say it because I don't want you to tell me because I just.
Well, you know what?
The leak pissed me off anyway because that's like
we have a leak that just happened. I was just sent this. Shout out to Proven. Apparently a news article came out 11 minutes ago. And I'm going to read it. So this is breaking news, apparently, from Xputer. Shout out to Proven. Thanks for DMing me this. Not a surprise, because you talk about things I already knew. I already knew this. I just didn't know when. Exclusive Forza Motorsport releases on October 10th.
What?
The Xbox exclusive will race the shelves in about 4 months' time. And the article goes on to say, sources close to Xputer have confirmed that Forza Motorsport, the 8th Forza Motorsport title and reboot of the franchise, has a release date of October 10th. Game was officially announced in 2020 and we're live day one on Game Pass and the Xbox Series X and PC. Goes on to say, blah, 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 blah. Let me get to it. Although there's been no concrete release date for Forza Motorsport up until now, developers did issue an update in April. So Xputer is saying that they have been told.
Someone in chat said it as well.
That
maybe the same
Forza
person
Motorsport will be releasing on the 10th of October. And
10th of October is good.
There's a reason why every time me and Jez talked about Forza, we always said it was coming in October. Always and forever, because we had known for a long time that Forza was coming in October.
You knew this.
Yeah, but like even still, it's like I
didn't
think nobody. There are some people who thought it would come before Starfield or whatever, and it's like no, it's October.
Yes, GBG.
So beginning of October. I guess that leaves the month at the end of the month open for like Age of Empires 4 for console and stuff.
Isn't that the same day Spider-Man releases?
No, Spider-Man is October 20th.
20th. Okay, fine.
So
it is. Yeah.
The 10th.
They're not even remotely similar. So
no, October 10th is a Tuesday, so that's the day Microsoft normally releases. And man, Maddie Plays, he also said earlier in the year that it was coming in October. Basically a whole bunch of people knew that it was coming in October, and so this is not a surprise to see. So October 10th, not a surprise.
Okay, so that's good to know.
Yeah,
I do hope we don't get in. I don't know. I just don't want to see more leaks. Even though if it's a date is quite important, because apparently, as you see, all the PlayStation guys are like, actually, the Summer Game Fest gave us dates, so that's a big show. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's good to have dates, but I still think dates are important. I just hope we don't get any more leaks, man.
I mean, a couple things leaked already. Hey, you know what, chat? If you're having a good time, hit the like button, subscribe, and you know what? Put in the chat, hold the line, or hashtag hold the line. Right? Let's get that going in the chat. Man, it'd be King David is a star, bro. Like that went viral. David? You couldn't even. Oh, bro. Hold the line.
Can't replicate that. I should have bought that shirt. He's gonna be on Game On tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, who's your guest tomorrow? He's one of your guests for Go Live. Oh, that's gonna be a saucy episode.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be saucy. We're gonna go hard. So Forza, okay, October.
Yep.
So, what do you think about the notion then that Hellblade wouldn't release in
November? We'll talk about that after we get through these things.
Okay.
We'll talk about
it. Hold the line, everyone is
hold the line, hit the like button, subscribe. Look at all the hold the lines in chat.
The line! I'm not going to let you talk. This is my show now.
Oh, is
ladies and gentlemen, to Go Live Randolph Thor 19 show. We're going to hold the line. Look at the chat. It's beautiful. Let's go.
It's going crazy. It's going crazy. We have
100 people. I'm famous. Mom, look at me. I'm famous. I'm in Randolph Thor 19's bosom.
We need more. We need to get up to 2,000 or something. Come on. It's 2 days before. Share this out. Let everybody know Xbox 2 is here. Gaz, the Sauce Master, and we're going to hold the line.
Oh,
right? Hey, we have a super chat from one of your favorite peoples. Face23 BKNY. Face23 Brooklyn. He says, what Phil Spencer said is stuck in my head. Doesn't matter what Xbox shows, what Xbox says. What really matters when you have the controller in your hand. Absolutely. No, yeah. 100%. It's all about when the, announcements, stuff, all that. It's like, it only really matters when you're playing the game and you're having a smile on your face. Absolutely.
Indeed. And then, you've got Street Fighter. Have you even played Street Fighter?
Bro, I got Street Fighter footage playing right now. The Patreon's voted for it, so I started it up finally. As you can tell, if you've seen the footage, I spent no time at all doing anything to my character. I don't care about how the character looks. I just like, all right, I picked like a preset and I went and I that was it, done and over with.
Yeah.
And I started playing it. How much? So we'll talk about this. So Street Fighter 6. I played a little bit of it, not that much. Have you been playing a lot of it?
Well, I've been having a busy week, but I have played them online. I played it online with Wandering Dutch and the other guys as well to test out the net code. I've played quite well. So I've played quite a bit. I've completed quite a few of the campaigns of characters, which story mode is a bit weak. I've done this open world hub, and I've also done Battle Hub. I played it online because I really wanted to see the net code, and I've got a source video to make after this, but after that, I'm jumping on this. I've been jumping between this and Diablo. And I wanted to be 55 in Diablo by the end of this week, but the reason why I'm not is because of this game. And really, it's because this game surprised me, Rand. I was hyped for it, but Xbox gamers haven't had a Street Fighter to play in God knows how long, like a whole generation, basically. That's like 10 years. God knows how long have you not had Street Fighter, Xbox people? Here we have Street Fighter 6. I used to be mad, and I mean properly good, at Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. I played that online all the time, ranked all the time. And I missed out because Street Fighter 4 was on PlayStation, Street Fighter 5. And I had a PS5, but I don't know. I always online environment, you know me, man. I'm stuck on Xbox. And I went to PC, but now Street Fighter 6, like I was veering towards Mortal Kombat as opposed to this, which we'll talk about in a bit. But Street Fighter 6 netcode, bro. I'm telling you right now, powered by Azure, PlayStation, you mother. Listen, be grateful Microsoft is providing those servers, Azure, PlayFab, whatever. Why is this? I was talking to Wandering Dutch. He told me, he goes, hey, by the way, it's on Azure. That's why the netcode is great. The netcode on this is amazing. You play someone with America, or I play with you, it was absolutely fine. I didn't have any hiccups. They have a particular setup for this game, but it's so good. This game deserves the high Metacritic score, and I'm not just capping because I'm a Street Fighter fan. I was surprised that the fighting system, what's it called? Oh, freaking forget the parry breaker something, limit breaker, whatever it is. That is really such a clever mode. I was actually against the idea of the modern controls. It makes it very easy for people who can't do the down, forward, or whatever button inputs. They can just hit one button to do their super moves. You'd think it's unfair, but it's not, because you sacrifice the lots of moves as a result, and fine-tuning and being all I'm trying to say is Street Fighter 6, people, do not sleep on this game. It is a great game. If you're not into fighting games, then it's perhaps not going to be obviously your cup of tea, unlike Mortal Kombat, which I would tell you to play and buy just for this single player story. But yeah,
well, that's
Drive Impact.
So I should make mention, Xbox sent me a code for the game to check out, and so thank you to Xbox for sending me Street Fighter 6. And so the Patreons, they wanted the footage, so here I am playing the story mode from the beginning, and that's all I really played so far. I'm not good at Street Fighter. I've never been good at Street Fighter. I prefer Mortal Kombat. I mean, I'll play online. Nobody was on last night when I was playing.
But he said it loves nothing.
Dude, the story mode, Gaz, is kind of crazy and off the wall. It's very much Yakuza, right? You got this this open world. You got people walking around. You can go up to them and talk to them. Go up to them, fight them, and when you fight them, it just goes to the classic side scroll fight, like regular fight. And you talk to Chun-Li, I think is in the video, and then you can choose who your master wants to be, and then you kind of do their move sets. You can mix and match and put different moves from different characters. It seems off the wall crazy, and I'm only a couple hours in, so I don't really know how. I know it's 15-20 hours or something, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I can see myself playing this in a party when I don't really need to pay attention, and just go and level up my character or something like that. But yeah, we should probably get online, get in a group, and just do some fights. I'll lose every single one. Because I'm not good at fighting games, but it'll be a fun time. So we got Street Fighter. I've been playing a little bit of Diablo as well, Gaz. I know you've been playing it. You got early access, right? You bought the $100 version, or whatever it was. And I'm level 30 in the game. What do you think of Diablo IV?
Diablo was a brilliant game. Again, another game. Although this one's uncharacteristic for me to enjoy. Although I did complete Diablo 3 a lot with a Necromancer. Diablo is amazing. Again, like I was expecting what you're here on Twitterverse, you're hearing some developers working, they were complaining, and it seemed like this game might have some problems. I was almost guaranteeing the day one connection problems, because if you know what happened with Diablo 3, you'd expect the same here. But those betas worked out, because this was the smoothest launching Diablo game. I had no server queues. I still haven't seen one. I played it day one and instantly into the game. I didn't even clock it until after I played it, and someone asked me on Twitter, it was a PlayStation guy making fun of it, because apparently Microsoft has already bought ABK. He's like, oh lol, how long did you spend on the server queue? I'm like, 0 seconds actually, because I didn't see one. Diablo is brilliant. The game is great. Have you played it?
Yeah, I've got about 12 hours in. I'm level 30. But like, I've been just doing random stuff in the world. Like, I keep on getting caught up in one more side quest, one more dungeon.
Same.
I'm playing a sorcerer. I like Diablo, but I don't love Diablo. I don't really know I haven't played Diablo 3 since it came out in 2013 or whatever. So it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, let me play through this. And the gameplay is fun. It's simple, right? Hey, let me walk 5 steps, kill these enemies, rinse, repeat. I'm enjoying the story setup with Lilith and everything. I feel like the storytelling's pretty good. I don't know how much more after the campaign I'll play, because to me, Diablo and Destiny are very similar in this regard of like, okay, you got your gear in Destiny, you level up just like in Diablo. Like every time you kill somebody, you get better gear, and you're constantly getting more powerful, and you get your skill points to spend. So you're getting your spells are getting more powerful, your attacks are getting more powerful, your character's looking cooler, right? But like the game, just like Destiny, they want you to essentially, all right, play in the harder difficulties to get slightly better gear so you can beat the harder difficulties faster. Then you can up the difficulty even more to get even better gear so your character can look cooler, so you can kill the enemies, so you can level up faster. And that sort of carrot on the stick thing doesn't really work that well with me, which is one of the reasons why I dropped out of Destiny. Yeah. So I'm going to beat Diablo 4 for sure. The fact that it's like kind of like an MMO really doesn't matter to me, because I'm not going to do World Tier 3 or World Tier 4. There's all these other games coming out the rest of the year that I'm going to play. But right now, like where I'm at in Act 1, where, like 11, 12 hours in, even though the loop is so simplistic, it is really, it's a lot of fun. I keep on expecting myself to get bored of it, but it's like, no, because I don't know. It's hard to describe, but I will know that when I'm done, when I finish the campaign, that's probably it for me, because there's other games to play and stuff, right?
See, there are absolutely other games to play. The problem, not the problem, but I see myself playing Diablo. I think it's one of those games I'll find it very hard to delete off my hard drive when I need the space, because I feel like I'm going to play this past the end game, and it's because if the gameplay loop is great, then that will get me invested. And Diablo does so many things right. It gets your serotonin release on point. These guys know what they're doing. Down from the sounds, everything. It's so satisfying. Like even from Necromancer. So corpse explosion is just amazing. Just seeing the visual treat, obviously visually fantastic, and the way the buttons pop, the way the crit numbers come up when you do get a crit. It's just like, oh, you're looking at the numbers and you're like, oh wow, I'm getting this much damage. And it's just that cathartic release and this may seem like a silly thing to draw reference to, but Vampire Survivors was another one where I could just chill, talk to people in party chat, shut my brain off, and still get the serotonin release and seeing all these things popping up on screens like Candy Crush. It's like the bubble wrap kind of gameplay. So for me, it's got that depth. Obviously, I don't have time. We are very busy. Like I literally have hardly any time in the day. But the Diablo is the kind of game where I want to play it when I'm on the move. I don't know how I'm going to do that because I'm on Xbox. But Diablo is a special game. A lot of people are calling it their game of the year, and I'm not surprised at all.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could totally see people saying it's their game of the year. I mean, we already know it's Jez's game of the year, right? We don't even need to. Yeah. We don't even need to guess. He is 100% his game of the year. But oh man, let's get to some of the more of these super chats talking about like the games we played, Street Fighter 6 and Diablo 4. Steve says, Gaz, why is your accent super posh? It's changed.
My accent is super posh.
That's what he
Are
says.
you mad, bro?
That's what he said, bro.
What? My accent is not posh, man. I'm like fully like London ends. What are you talking about, bruv? What are you talking about, blood? I'm from the street. Actually, I'm from the London crew, yeah? We all speak a patois here, and no one's ever called me posh. That's so weird. No, it's not posh. Not here. Maybe to American. You may be American. But here in England, it sounds... You can see the twinge of Pakistani accent mixed with whatever Jamaican patois that's so prevalent and how we grew up with.
Yeah,
so,
super posh. So
super posh.
We got Jack saying, Gaz, is the Xbox Series S treated like a second-class machine? Will Starfield run 60 FPS on the S and X, or just the X?
Just the X.
I mean, if it runs at 60, yeah.
If it runs at 60 X. If it's a 30 or an S, if Pony's gonna go around and try and say, oh, that's an L on the S, I'm like, that's not an L on the S. The S is the budget console. You're getting a lot for your money there. The entry level current gen console, yeah, it may not have the bells and whistles. Yeah, you may not see veins on Ryu's muscles. I saw that on Twitter. Everyone's crying about, oh, this is weird. I can't see his veins on his muscles. He's not vascular enough on the Series S. It's like, okay. What do you even know is that? Like, when you're playing freaking Street Fighter, you were dumb mother. Some people, man. But no, Series S, I don't. If it does run at 60, I'll be shocked. And I think everyone, the only person, Microsoft, if that game is running on 60 rand, I'm telling you, it's only because of Microsoft. It's only because of Xbox internal sending their engineers out. There's no way Todd Howard has the appetite to make that run at 60 unless he's compelled to do so. And I'm telling you, if that is 60 or has a performance mode, it is almost 100% down to Microsoft actually making that suggestion, demanding it, mandating it, and then helping out. I'm not saying 100% in terms of the execution, because obviously the developers at, Bethesda will be working on it. But, that's coming from Microsoft. If it's 60, it's because of Xbox. It's because of Phil Spencer. It's because of Jason Ronald, whatever, whoever's saying it, make it run at 60, because we can't have a flagship title like this most important first party exclusive in Microsoft suite for a very long time. Very long time. This has a lot of potential. So yeah. So sorry, I went on a tangent there, but Series S, I'm not expecting that.
That is one of the questions about the Starfield Direct, right? Because we had some leaks. There are some people concerned that Starfield's $80. Gaz, have you seen this? Because of the Billy Kabunk leak, Idle Sloth, the Chad himself put it out there.
Did you say?
Well, so Billy Bunn, who's like a leaker, he's actually got an excellent track record, so this stuff is true. He basically said there's 3 versions of the game. 3 versions of Starfield coming. And he thinks they're going to be revealed during the Starfield Direct, just like the controller and headset. And that it has, so let me see here. It has a regular version that is going to be 69 pounds on PC, but 79 pounds on Series X and S. The thing is, when Idle Slot tweeted it out, he used the $sign on $79.99. So everybody was like, what do you mean they're raising the price to $80? Nobody really has critical thinking skills and would think like, why is every other $sign in this tweet the $sign, but this one for $79.99 is a dollar? Maybe he made a copy paste error, but no, people were freaking out. So no, it's $70. But so that's the standard version. There's a premium edition. Obviously, we don't know. This is all just kind of leaks that will cost $104 on PC and 114 pounds on console. And then there's finally a Constellation edition, which supposedly is priced at £299.99, which I guess converts to $322 on PC and Xbox Series X and S.
Euros, apparently, not pounds.
Oh, is it euros? My bad. Yeah. So euros instead of pounds. The same source recently claimed that Microsoft will announce 2 Starfield-themed accessories during Sunday's event, and then make them immediately available for purchase. So 3 versions of Starfield. One of them that's basically going to be $300. And people were freaking out about the $80 thing, but no, it's going to be $70. So what are you going to get a $300 version of Starfield? What do you think's going to come in that? Do you think there's going to be like a statue of some kind? What does it come with?
Statue? Better come up with a full-time masseuse at that
masseuse?
price. Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's like 3 masters. More than 3 masters, maybe. No, man, 300. What are you gonna get for that? An entire planet? You give a piece of the moon. $300 a lot. I'm excited. I'm not typically a fan of the collector stuff. But really, $300 is. I know my friends who pick up every collector edition, and they'll be excited about it, and they will buy this day one. What is it gonna be? I have no idea. If it's Todd Howard's DNA, I will buy it. Then I'll clone him, and I'll hopefully get Fallout to be built simultaneously. But I'm buying the standard one, man. Oh well, what is the $80? What is that? I hate. By the way, I hate multiple versions of things.
It's just the regular version of the game, just $70. You know.
What's the 80 one?
Oh, so what's the second version? The Starfield Premium Edition. Supposed to be €104 on PC and €114 on console. No idea. We don't know what's in these editions.
It comes with a smartwatch.
Is that what people are saying?
Yeah, Starfield smart. Oh shit! Actually, after everything I just said, that would actually be really cool. I might actually want one. It depends on how good it looks. Wait, have people seen it, or is it?
Has the actual images leaked? I didn't even know if that's the case.
I don't know where the game's.
I know the controllers and headset leaked. They look really nice. I almost kind of hope they make an Xbox Series X with, that resembles the controller, because I'm like, I might have to get that. But yeah, I don't know. I saw this, so it's they're going all out for Starfield for sure, as they should,
have to,
because it's super huge, right? Because you kind of have to.
Wasn't it you who was saying that you'd be pissed if they didn't do a limited edition?
I wouldn't be pissed, but you're talking about one of the biggest games for Xbox in a long time. Like, it needs a console. Yeah. It needs a custom console. But I mean, there's this whole stock situation with the Xbox Series X. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. They did one for Halo, which of course you have to, but Starfield, you need. I figured there will be at least a bundle like there is now with Diablo and Forza, but I really think there needs to be a custom one, and maybe there is. Maybe we'll see it.
I'm pretty confident there will be one. I'm pretty confident.
If there is, maybe we'll see it at the show.
They made controllers for Redfall. They can make a console for Starfield.
They made 5 controllers for Redfall.
Oh god.
Poochie, member for 16 months. Love the energy, Gazatron. Also, I need you to sign my Xbox, bruv.
Bring it, bruv. I'll sign it with my. You can guess what that means. I don't even know. That meant elbow. But I'll sign your Series X. Sign the Series. Who am I? I'm a peasant in this space. You don't need me to sign anything, but I need you to wear the sauce so we can go pony hunting on Sunday.
Justin Duel, member for 16 months. Love seeing Gaz as a guest host. Sunday will be Xbox's best showcase yet. Feel fortunate to be attending FanFest. He's going to be there, but we're not. Oh no!
I know. What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives, guys? We should have been there, right? Faisal 007 in super chat says, "I know Rand knows that Jet Set Radio 3 is coming to Game Pass day one. I don't know that. I mean, clearly though, with the whole Persona situation, let's talk about that. So the one leak we do have outside of the Starfield stuff and the release date for Forza Motorsport, which if you missed it is apparently October 10th." Is Atlas, in turn, uploaded trailers for 2 Persona games that are at the Xbox Showcase. Persona 3 Reloaded, which is a remake, which is coming early next year, and Persona 5 Tactics, which is coming, I think, November 3rd or something. Both of them, day one on Game Pass. Are you loving the Persona love on Xbox after not having the franchise forever? Now, within 2 years, you get Persona 3, 4, and 5. You get the remake. You get Tactics. Are you feeling confident that maybe Persona 6, the new one, will actually be a day one game for Xbox, guys?
Well, the question I have in my mind, I'm loving it, by the way, on socials, the hype and love for Persona, but is that love and hype being backed by gameplays or numbers, MAUs or sales? Because that's the real litmus test. A lot of people say Xbox guys don't want to play RPGs. They don't buy RPGs, although, and then you have to ask yourself, there's a particular reason for that, because then primary competitors almost shut them out over a sustained period of time in timed exclusivity. So it has fostered a kind of culture where an expectation where our JRPGs are not known or synonymous with Xbox. Still an Xbox problem. I'm not blaming Sony for it. Microsoft can play aggressively to counter. So I'm not saying, damage controlling, but that is a factor. However, Persona, I feel like it's doing really well. I feel like Hoggy in the chat.
Hoggy
what are
is
you
here?
doing here?
He's
Hoggy
listening.
He's there. And he's still tuned in. This is, ladies and gentlemen, dedication. Shout out everyone to Hoggy who's there. Right
Hoggy,
now.
the thing is, Hoggy never shows up to Xbox 2. Hardly ever. We're like the only podcast Hoggy doesn't even bother showing up to watch. It's crazy.
Woo!
You know?
Can see me. Thank you, Hoggy. I'm Gaz's dad's in the chat. Zane, but so look, what was I talking about? Yeah,
You're talking about Persona. Yeah.
Persona's gonna be I'm really the bodies are so salty. They're so salty. This is Game Pass as well. It's like suffer. I'm very happy. I like Persona on PlayStation. I didn't complete it. I need to go back and complete it. Persona is Microsoft can't afford to let that slip. Let it build. They should be focusing on that game to market aggressively in Japan, because did you remember the marketing in Japan? It was pretty good. Like they did make an effort there, and their marketing is pretty weak. So good shout, everyone in chat. If you like your JRPG, support that game if you want to. I'm not Microsoft, but I'd love to see my Xbox gamers support Persona, and we can have a positive statement from Sega saying, or Atlas saying, hey, you know what, we did, the Xbox community, thank you, we're really seeing incredible numbers. And then it goes to kill that narrative that, Xbox gamers are only, sequestered to your dude bros, which is nonsense. But it would be good to see it in JRPG form. That would be really good. So yeah, good news, man. Again, why? This was Atlas's fault, I think. On Instagram they released it.
Yeah, it would have been a big surprise, right? That's a surprise ruined. Not only,
I
mean, we sort of knew the game existed and it was going to be there. But now it also, remember, Persona 3 Remake leaked alongside a new Jet Set Radio. So now that we know the Persona 3 Remake is real, that leads a lot of credence to the fact that there's a new Jet Set Radio coming as well.
Bro, don't even.
You don't remember this?
I swear. What? Who's Jet Set Radio?
So there was a leak where we had initially seen what Persona 3 Remake looked like. This was like maybe 2 months ago, where it was like Persona 3 Remake and a new Jet Set Radio. You can probably search for the images on Google or Twitter. And now that we know the Persona 3 Remake is real and is actually a thing, then clearly the Jet Set Radio new game, remake, what have you, is also going to be real. And maybe that shows up at the Xbox show, because we know Sega and Xbox have a very tight relationship, right? Persona, Sega game, Atlas. There's maybe a good chance Jet Set Radio shows up on Sunday.
Bro, are you serious? Oh my god, Rad. Do you know how much I played Jet Set Radio Future? I played that so much. A lot. I can't clock the time on it. It was on the original Xbox. But I still have the song. If anyone played it, whatever that word is, you know that song. That song was like, it was so annoying at the time, actually. But then you kind of love it. And this game was so good. I swear to God, if Jet Set Radio comes back, oh my god, I'm gonna be so sad. If I'm gonna live stream it, you're gonna see I might actually cry, because I made a video, no one watched it months ago, in my top games to be needs a sequel. This has been early days of YouTube, and I put it on Game On Daily, and I put Jet Set Radio's music there. And you know what was amazing? When the starting soon, understand. you remember that?
Uh-huh,
Understand the concept of love. Oh my God, if I hear that, I will cry actual tears. I love that game, man. That game had so much fucking... Oh, it was so beautiful. It had so much style. The soundtrack was incredible. In one of the tracks, some guy, I don't even know who this rapper was, dissed Eminem so hard. Like, proper swearing. I'm like, what? This is a kid's game? I don't even know what the rating was with that game.
So you're going to be crying grown man tears?
Not from my face.
Hey, guys, Pong Soul just DM'd us. I don't know if you want to take a look at it, but he's got images of the watch and the actual Constellation Edition. It says the Starfield Collection Edition will cost $299. At the moment, it is known that it will include a box with a customized watch in it, but it is unknown what extras it will have. The official reveal will take place on June 11th. Nice.
Shout out Pong Soul, one of the most positive people in... I'm convinced he does MDMA every day, but wow, that watch is actually really nice. They've got the really good, the gray, white, and red vibe. Like they've
and that box, bro. Look at that box.
Oh, man.
Are you going to be spending $300 on this?
Bro, oh God, I need to do my house up. This is... Look at that box, though, man. That box is amazing. Bro, chat, I'm not into this stuff, by the way. Like, I like my... You guys are going to hate me for this, but I don't like the weird... Not toys. Don't kill me, King David. But I like a certain aesthetic, like more like a music studio or whatever. But that case... is like that like it's almost like a DVLA speaker, if people know what that is. It's just very good design. I think it's just amazing. I'm actually, that watch is a smart watch. It's so good. It looks so nice. I wish we could post it on YouTube and share it on screen. Established 2188. That just looks really nice. Bloody hell, man. After making fun of this, I'm genuinely considering it, because that
Mav says
beautiful.
Gaz doesn't usually like boxes, but he likes this box.
Yeah, man, that looks like a pro box. So can you imagine if you do not carry that to work, because that looks dodgy. Well, I can't carry that to work, but yeah, yeah.
We have Shabs saying, what about Scalebound Great Show All? Let me get through the super chats so we can hype it all up again. Patrick says, sucks Persona got leaked ahead of the showcase, but I'm still excited nonetheless. I'm expecting to see Avowed, Forza, Hellblade, Starfield, and Fable. And I think you will see all those titles, sir. So, yeah. Sherman says, any chances of Forza Motorsport demo shadow drop? I don't think so. They don't. I can't imagine. When's the last time they did a demo? But no, I don't think there will be. Supernova. Konnichiwa, do you expect Castlevania reveal in the show? Is the Castlevania project real? Well, Jez thinks it's real, considering a lot of the information yet about Metal Gear came from the same person, so he thinks the Castlevania project is real. But no, I don't think it'll be at this show. Blaze Hawkage says, do you all expect any anime games? I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm not expecting any. Maybe something from Bandai Namco. I don't know. Aramix says, really hoping we get a ridiculous Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty reveal at Xbox show with Idris on stage. Love you guys. Enjoy the show on Sunday. I think we will
be epic.
Yeah, I think we will definitely have the Cyberpunk expansion at the show. Don't forget, Microsoft had marketing for that game.
Yep.
Red and Black Dog says, Gaz says, hold the line and loosen the anus.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah. Hold the line, chat. Hold the line. King David said some very poignant words that will go down in industry. But I swear to God, Aaron Greenberg, you piece of you need to wear that shirt. You need to wear that shirt. I think he bought it. Aaron Greenberg is such a good sport.
He's going to wear it. He'll probably wear it on Sunday, you know.
But ponies hate Aaron, but I love him because the fact that he pisses them off so much is I know he's doing his job right. But did you see him on Twitter? I don't know. It looked like the Spanish people could tell us in chat, but it looked like he was speaking fluent Spanish. I was like, yo, he's like, I'm not going to do the fake Spanish thing because that will get you cancelled. But it sounded really good. I was like, yo, this is a refined gentleman. He's got a lot of language skills. Spanish chat, tell me. Was that real? If you saw the clip of Aaron Greenberg speaking in Spanish, was that really accurate or good pronunciation?
I mean, I saw the clip, so Addigator says, now that Gaz is on the show, you should get some guest game developers as special guests on Xbox 2. Todd Howard or Josh Schroyer would be awesome. I mean, it would be, and Jez wants to do something like that for Patreon, but I doubt Josh Schroyer will ever be on because Obsidian doesn't like Jez whatsoever. I think he's blacklisted by Obsidian for the whole Pentiment stuff. So that'll probably never happen. But Jez wants to do something like that.
Thank you to him. They should say thank you to him because really, I think he helped Pentiment out. But that's me. By the way, Julian A says his Spanish was on point. So shout out Aaron Greenberg.
Spartan Ghost, Summer Games Fest was pretty bad. Hi, Gaz.
Hello. Second
Coming, is Phil in hiding or too busy? He wasn't at SGF. He's probably got a lot to do. He's probably got a lot to do, you know? Achievement. Good. Who has more misses in the past decade, Sega or Square Enix? Square doesn't have a Sonic, and Persona is more consistent than Final Fantasy lately. I mean, Square...
shout out Hoggy in the chat. Sorry, go. Read that super chat. I don't want to devalue the super chat.
Says, Aaron told us he'll be wearing the Hold the Line shirt on Sunday. Isn't that what I just said? He was going to wear it on Sunday? That was my guess.
That's confirmation from Hoggy firsthand himself. Ladies and gentlemen, confirmation. That's so sick.
Aaron will be wearing the shirt on Sunday, but Aaron's probably not actually in the showcase though. So that's still amazing, you know. That
they might have a camera, even a camera panning, and you see it for a second. I think that's huge. I mean, yeah.
No, we will. I'm sure people will be taking videos and photos at FanFest, so we'll definitely see it.
Yeah.
Tharsman, Jet Set Radio Future might be the GoldenEye style reveal. I mean, maybe. You never know. But it's possibly, you know, it's something that could happen. For me. Right?
Me, Jet Set Radio. If it's a future one, then yeah. Would it be a reboot? What would it be? I don't even know.
I don't know. Miles says, Exputer says Forza out 10/10/23. Y'all think it's real? It's definitely coming in October for sure. And the release date sounds right. So, yeah, I think it's real. We'll find out soon enough.
10/10/23.
10/10. Dub, member for 22 months. Shout out to the chat. Gaz and Rand. A Jet Set Radio announcement would have me so hype. Ready for the showcase on Sunday. How many people we got watching, Gaz? I don't even know.
We got 1,824. Hit the like button, everyone.
Thank you all for being here. 1,800 people. A couple days before the showcase. Hit the like button and subscribe. Gaz, let's talk about... what do you want to talk about first? Summer Games Fest? You want to talk about Summer Games Fest?
Yes, do it.
All right, and then we'll get into the Xbox hype afterwards. Summer Games Fest. I'm so
happy to be on this show of all shows. This is the one.
So, Summer Games Fest, I don't know if we need to go through each individual thing, but they started out the show with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which was a surprise. Apparently, also, it has way more dislikes on YouTube than likes. But I will say, I liked it.
Because of the way he looked.
I liked it. I don't know. I like Prince of Persia a lot. I'm really happy to get a new game. That's not... I want to play the remake too, but even though this kind of had a mobile-ish look to it, I was like, I'm playing this. January. I don't know why people were so down on it, though. What do you think?
I saw the stuff on social media, and everyone was complaining about the way he looks. So I'm like... He actually looks Persian. I don't know. What is he supposed to look like? The other one, Sands of Time ones? Like, Prince of Persia was like pixels when I was playing it. Then I played the crazy 360 one. Was it Sands of Time? That was really good. The series went by the wayside after that. Now it's 2D. Fine.
It's fine. I mean, the original Prince of Persias were 2D, so...
Yep, I love the originals. Oh god, we've come a long way because I remember playing that on a PC on a little floppy disk or whatever it was, and it's gone back to that spiritually. And you remember every time you see that kind of trailer, you're like, what if I showed my young self this at the time, and I look at this, what the future graphics would be like, not the 3D one, but the side scroller, and I'll be like, would I be? Oh wow, that looks amazing. Or would I be like, oh wow, we're still doing 2D? I don't know if I would have thought that way, but the game looks great. People complain about. I saw John Linneman complain about the soundtracks and the hip-hop stuff.
Okay, the music choice was awful. It did not flow well with the trailer at all. I think that maybe that has a a lot of the reason why people were like, what is this? I know in the group I watched it with, people were just like, ew, this trailer music. So maybe that has something to do with it. We have a super chat here from Chuckle Chuckle. Just joined. Good to see Gaz on the show. Gaz, what are your thoughts on mayonnaise, Blizzard, and Scalebound?
Mayonnaise is okay if you turn it into peronaise. I do use mayonnaise, but as on its own, don't you dare classify it as sauce. Sauce, come to me if you want. No, that sounds weird. Hot sauces, but mayonnaise fine. In terms of Scalebound can get. I don't want to see that. Why do you want to hold? Why are people holding on to Kamiya's failed game? Like this game that looked like it didn't have anything remotely unique. It ran at like 10 frames. You had this boring generic guy, looked like a Wish version of Dante with the headphones on. Beats is like, okay, you had some of the power stuff was really cool. Like you get different types of like Rocky Dragon thing, whatever. Try to remember, but it felt like didn't have any spirit, that game. Like it looked visually impressive at the time despite its poor performance, but then they tried to, you remember just before it got cancelled, they were talking about 4-player co-op. They actually showed it, I think, and
they did. Like, it looked awful.
It looked awful, and all the characters looked the same, like just different color dragons. It was like, what is this? It didn't look that great. It would have been a mid game. So like Scalebound, I don't care. I know you're probably jesting with that super chat, but it really, Xbox, this is not the same Xbox that it was before, where we were so desperate that we could trying to bring IPs back. Microsoft has so many studios that we don't even know games that they're gonna be shown off that we haven't even heard of. And if anything from just going into the thing you talk, but I have to say, if anything from id Software comes out,
Ooh.
I am, my God. It's id Software and Jet Set Radio, and we get Hellblade. Bro, I will be the most insufferable person on social media to PlayStation fanboys. If that was the case.
A lot of people already think you're insufferable. So
I am, but I'll be even worse. I warn you, just block me now. If that's going to be shown off, just block me now.
Dickaburu says, what if Diablo IV launched on Game Pass? Well, I mean,
the plan was that
it would be huge. Game Pass would have a lot more subs because Diablo 4 is like the biggest launch in Blizzard history.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I mean, honestly, overall, the show, I thought it was okay. I think I gave it like a B. I thought it was better than the PlayStation show, even though it was longer.
It's not saying much.
Even though like some of the pacing was off. Like, yeah, they have developers up on stage, but sometimes it's like I don't really need this. But I guess like how else are you supposed to string along a 2-hour show? But then maybe one of the coolest things at the show, we got some Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay.
I was about to say.
Whoo!
Yep.
Now this was
Mortal Kombat
tight.
Sick.
This was absolutely tight. Like I said, I suck at fighting games, but I love Mortal Kombat. I love the campaigns that they have, and I love the fatalities. So like, I am there day one for this. 100%. The cameo fighters. Oh man, that like everything about this game looks so cool, isn't it? Like,
yeah, the game is just going to be epic. They wouldn't actually. I thought. Well, in some bits it was conservative, some people said, but I thought they'd really done something. I like how Street Fighter's done its own thing with this sort of like open world and fighting mechanics. Then Mortal Kombat comes back with this cameo thing, and it just visually the game looks incredible. Like the cuts in-engine cutscenes that seamlessly go into fighting in-game, whatever. It just looks beautiful. The game looks stunning. The story is very intriguing. Like the cutscenes will look better than they should.
Most games, don't they? Like
I know, man. It looks crazy. It looks better than most games, bro. Like I get it's a fighting game, but the game's visual fidelity is actually up there. If you're gonna make your Mortal Kombat movie, people, that last one was disgusting. I watched the trailer of that live action one like maybe 60 times because that trailer was cut so well with that music. And then the actual thing was terrible. Instead of doing that and hiring terrible actors to play this, just use your in-engine assets to deliver us a story in the game like in Seasons, and we would be hooked because that looks amazing. The game was the highlight of that show. For me, it kind of saved Summer Games Fest. Yeah, okay, Final Fantasy VII 2 was there, but Mortal Kombat is a special place in my heart. It was my first ever game, so I hold it in close esteem. Mortal Kombat 9. I spent hours on that playing online. I used to play that a lot, all the time. Kung Lao, OP, and Mortal Kombat 9. I still remember all the fatalities: down, down, forward, back, square, or X. What was it? Yeah, X. Down, down, forward, back, X. Right next to someone would slice them in half. I used to play this in spectator mode on the Xbox. Remember, you could make your own avatar. I made my whole avatar into a woman. I even had a woman's profile, XXX, and I'd put a woman's voice when I played online. I'm not joking. I'd be like, "Hiya, boys. Yeah, I'm new here." And then you would get all the kind of like everyone saying obnoxious, obscene things, like harassing. Some people they would just take me like for a new, like, "Oh yeah, I had this pink black." I think I put it on Twitter. And then I would decimate them on Mortal Kombat. So I'm hyped. I hope the netcode is good as well now. Street Fighter proves that, Killer Instinct proved it last gen, that there's no excuse for bad netcode. Sorry, I'm talking a lot, but Mortal Kombat is my jam. And we're so spoiled. We're so spoiled. We got so many good games, man. This is like a big year. This is a very big year. We're going to look back at this year. We're going to look back at this year.
We also got some other breaking news, it seems. I've been set this by OBM and Kimono. I don't even know how this Kimono Tong. So, Twitter account, PlayStation Game Size, which always kind of drops like the game sizes of PlayStation stuff, just dropped the length of the Xbox game showcased in the Starfield Direct.
Okay, that's a leak I can get behind. What is it?
So he says the Xbox game showcase in Starfield Direct, length 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 19 seconds.
That's a long time, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We also got Starfield, so what are we thinking? Hour 52. Aaron did say that it was going to be roughly, under 2 hours, and an hour 52 is roughly under 2 hours, so...
Yeah, it was only 8 minutes short. That's freaking crazy. That's a lot, man. That's a big show. Like, I'm just hoping they don't pad it with crap, but that's a big show, man. I mean, the Starfield's going to get a big chunky look then, because that's wicked, man. 1 hour 52. That means it's going to be streaming for 2 hours. But that means, because we're doing live coverage of this, an hour before it, 2 hours, and then obviously... Whatever happens, we're going to be on... I need to charge all my batteries on my camera because that is going to be a long show. That's going to be a long show. But why did we go, Rand? Oh, for sake. We should have gone. We should have gone. Me and you would get lit. I don't even know what you guys do. I see these pictures on Fridays and Saturdays. They don't even go out. I'm like, bro, we're going to a club. Everyone's getting lit. How many times we come together? Don't sit here, have pizza, and then just go off to bed. No one's sleeping. No one is sleeping. Oh, but Rad, we should have freaking gone. Next year, I swear to God, let's just book it now. Oh, you don't even know when we're going. There's going to be an epic show. It's going to be an epic show. 1 hour 52. Nearly an hour spent on Starfield. And you're telling me Jet Set Radio is going to be shown on top of everything else.
I'm not telling you Jet Set Radio is going to be there. I'm saying there might be a good chance it's actually real. Right? Because the Persona remake's real.
I will lose my shit.
So Chad, how are you feeling? Let me do a poll. Actually, I don't need a poll for this. How are you feeling about an hour 52? Is that enough? Because I don't know how it breaks down. An hour and a half for the main show, 22 minutes for Starfield, or an hour and 20 for the main show and 32 for Starfield. Like, what's the split? We need to know the split, right? Like, yeah, one Bemether says, even if Starfield is 30 minutes, that's an hour and 20 minutes of other stuff. That's a lot when subtracting highlight game runtime. So...
Yeah. Long time. That's a good time. That's a good amount. Anytime these shows happen, I know it. You do it. It depends on who you are. Like Xbox fanboys like me will do it. We're always looking at the time. We're clock watching. Like, how many more minutes of more showing? And a successful show is one where it makes you stop looking at your clock. Because you're so enticed into
Dude, when I was watching the PlayStation show, because I had been hearing all these things about how it was going to kill Xbox and all this stuff, right?
Don't remind me,
And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, 15 minutes in, I look at my watch. I'm like, okay, 15 minutes have passed. Maybe they're saving 30 minutes in. Okay, maybe they're saving all the stuff for the end. And then they get to the end and Jim Ryan shows up. We got one more game. I'm like, huh? Like, okay. Like,
bro, I was such a dick to poor Blaze. Shout out to Blaze 4K. We get him on and to do like, because he bleeds PlayStation. I have nothing but love for him, and he was on the, and I was being such a dick. Because I was doing what I would have hated anyone to do, especially a pony to do to me. Oh, 50 minutes are gone. Is this all they got? Oh, 25 minutes. Oh, shit. You're running out of time, Blaze. There's 30 minutes left. I'll keep showing this cat game. Please take your time. Take your time. And he was so pissed off at me because I'm such a piece of ass. But I did it. And he could see it. And he was looking at the time. I'm looking at the time. And the time just kept going. And they still weren't showing anything. And when they showed Gran Turismo, I lost my shit. I was the trailer. Oh my god, I was such a dick to him, and that's something you don't have to worry about at this showcase. I don't think you have to clock watch.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, if you start clock watching, then you know that's kind of a bad sign, right? If you're like, okay,
exactly.
It's 30 minutes in, so we'll see. We have Everborn Saga, the conspiracy theorist. Good friend here
we go.
He says Sonic Superstars made the SGF a 10 out of 10 showcase. Actually, that made it a 0 out of 10 showcase, if you ask me. Everybody in I was watching it like, it's like, my buddies were like, who cares about Sonic in 2023? And I'm like, that's right. Who cares?
I care.
Well, you care.
I care. The real boys care.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Sonic crew, Everwild and chat. Sonic is legendary. I didn't care. I love Sonic, but I didn't care.
Oh, man.
It's not.
Hour 52.
The hype man reaction, someone was going mental over it. I played Sonic Mania, it was really good, but...
Chuckle says it's not the length that matters, it's the quality, right? Yeah, it's the motion of the ocean, right?
Oh, shit! And we're going to play some tunes here. He's right. Especially if you're Asian, you're not blessed that way. But it's all about the quality. It's decent length, by the way.
It is at the end of the day all about the quality. Because the last two showcases were the same length, and 2021 was way better than 2022. So it is about the quality. And I think this year is going to be very, very, very good. I think it's going to be on par with 2021, if not better, because I thought 2021 was great. So I know like Cognito's kind of been like, I'm sitting at my 8 out of 10. I'm thinking at least 8.5, maybe a 9. Robert Keller says, stand down with the Sonic slander. Never. We have Stefan Gugg here saying, hey guys, greeting from Germany. Great to see my two most loved YouTubers on one show. When will we see the fight between Gaz and Paris?
Oh, well, next year. You'll see it next year. I will actually challenge to I'm not even joking. I will challenge you to an actual boxing match.
An actual boxing match, huh?
He's way bigger than me.
Oh, he's going to destroy you, bro. He's going to destroy you.
Well, he's got weight limit, health, stamina, everything characteristic going for him, but I still will beat him because what he doesn't have is the sauce.
He doesn't have the sauce. He doesn't have that. Razor V2 says, Gaz, I sent you something about Jet Set Radio. Eyes emoji. So you might want to check your DMs or something. Giggity says, for how big Starfield is supposed to be, do you see it being over 200 gigabytes? I don't know. With the way people freaked out over Final Fantasy VII Rebirth being 2 discs, maybe it should be 2 discs just to see the comparison, to be how everybody's freaking out about Final Fantasy being 2 discs, and what if Starfield was 2 discs too? Although we probably would know about it by now if it was.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dickaboo says, I hope Gaz gets his gooch licked. Just wishing him a good time on this good week, lol. Okay.
I wish. Thank you for wishing nice things for me. Razor has shared this DM in the chat. That looks... Oh my god. If that's real, I'm losing it.
You're going to lose it. Jax. Nicolas Cage overstayed his welcome. Brutal, my god. Soma King. Jez sounds more sober today. Ooh.
Jez sounds more sober today. That's a piss take, because I'm not. Someone in chat was saying, for someone who doesn't drink, you sound pretty murked. I'm just hype all the time of natural energy and hype because it's Xbox's freaking showcase. Am I the only one here? Look, is it a case of I'm just maybe being a bit mental and the hype? Or is that why I'm like a content creator? Or are other people in the chat feeling as like excited? I always wondered that because I'm kind of grateful in the podcasting circuit. I see the hype now. I didn't see it in my other parts of my life. Every time I'd just be excited about the game showcase like it was my holiday. More than any event in the year, it was the game showcase. So I'm really hyped. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm sad, but it's mad. I think it's going to be a good show. I don't think I was this hyped last year. I don't think I was at all.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to remember about last year. And then immediately the hype plunged when Sarah Bond was like, everything you see here in the next 12 months, we were like,
yep.
What?
Why?
Well, it was
luckily
because
that thing's dead.
I think the hype also died for last year because Tom Henderson, 2 days beforehand, was streaming and he was like, Forza Motorsport's delayed to 2023. Avowed's not at the showcase, so he was kind of talking about like things people didn't want to hear, which I think lowered people's hype levels for the show. And there hasn't been any of that. I don't know if Tom is listening or if Tom has any plans on leaking the show. I mean, Persona's, Atlas has already leaked the show and like the Starfield stuff. So,
I like the show. If you know, Jez wouldn't do it because I know.
No, Jez and Grub aren't going to do it. They've already talked about that. Nope.
Oh, they have? Good.
Yeah, they said they wouldn't leak it. Grub said he might say like something's not at the show, but he won't say what's at the show.
Well, he can do that. That's fine.
So, but yeah.
But yeah,
Wibberoo
he
says,
can say what's not on the show.
Sega sees a gap in the market with no Square Enix on Xbox. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm hour 52. Hopefully that's like straight through, right? Because they did say immediately following. Because there's a part of me that was thinking, if it's two separate shows, what if Microsoft does some sort of intermission between, where it's like the Xbox Game Showcase ends and they're like, join us in 5 minutes for the Starfield Direct, and like another countdown starts to the Starfield Direct. You know what I mean? Instead of like immediately, like as soon as the one ends, you immediately go into Starfield Direct. So I was always thinking in my head, like, okay, would they do something like that where it's like, all right, just everybody hold still. We got about 5 minutes before we go see Todd Howard,
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So like even with an hour 52, that could include like
the break in between.
A break in between if there is a break. I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. I mean, we'll find out. Maybe someone should tweet Aaron and actually get him to confirm the run times and see how long each one is and stuff, right? We need to get more. We need to get more breaking news in here. Breaking news. So we need someone.
I'm kind of just scared that it'll spoil the surprise.
No. Everybody in the show right now, just go to your Twitter at Aaron Greenberg and ask him, hey, what is the length of the showcase and what is the length of the Starfield Direct? We need to know. We need to get this information. I mean, it's not a spoiler to say, right? So come on. We need to get this info and then report back. Hopefully Aaron responds and we can get some more breaking info. The Jakester says, what game would make the showcase a 10 out of 10 for you? Great podcast. Can't wait for the showcase. # hold the line. It's not so much about one game for me. It's about a collection of games that I want to see. Avowed, Hellblade, Fable, Forza, if like Indiana Jones is there. It's not like one single game would catapult it to a 10 out of 10. I need more than a single game, right? Yeah. So I don't know. What would be for you? Is there a game that would make it a 10 out of 10, guys?
I don't think a singular game would do that for me. Jet Set Radio may sound like it would do that for me, but that alone and everything else fails us. No way. This is a show that needs to do a lot of things around. We need to be a bit clear on, these are our opinions at the end of the day, but my feeling is that we need to be clear on the bar that Xbox needs to attain. Because we've said it for a while. Yes, PlayStation's, missteps have loosened expectations, but the bar, I don't think there's any good reason for it to be lowered as a result of its, lackadaisical competition. So it needs to hit on all fronts. And that means release dates, which we have already found for Forza, most likely is real. And that's fine. That's good. We've got Forza's release date. Now we've got Starfield. We know Starfield's release date. So the release date bit, that's good. We need to see gameplay, and Aaron's already confirmed he killed, and obviously there's no reason to suggest he's lying. He's killed that big concern about over-reliance on CGI. In fact, he went a step further and saying there's nothing that's full CGI. It will all be gameplay or CGI and gameplay, and all of that is amazing. So you've already got a release date. Forza was the one that needed a release date. Hellblade after that one needs a release date, or some indication when it's actually going to come out. So you've got that, and you've got to have gameplay for the games that they've been talking about for ages that you have seen, but we haven't, and like avowed. We need to see what the other studios are doing. But it's looking really positive. It's looking really positive. Obviously, if you've got a release date for Forza, then Forza was always going to be shown. But I want to see Forza. I actually do want to see Forza quite deeply, like a technical level, I want to see it on Series X.
Well, we are getting a look at the single player gameplay campaign during the extended showcase on Tuesday. So I think we'll probably see a short trailer at the show, and it'll have the release date, and it'll be like, hey, tune in to the extended showcase to see like in-depth gameplay, right? Because they've already said that. Steven Boxey says, Phil said a collection. What will that be? Are you believing the rumors about the Gears collection or Fable collection?
God, if that's correct, Special Nick will be the most insufferable piece of
he already is insufferable. So
I know. So can you imagine if he actually finally got one thing right out of the 17,000 things he got wrong? I don't know what his track record is. I know he's been wrong on some things, but I think he's really accurate on PlayStation stuff, I hear. But in terms of Gears collection, if that's real, that people apparently care. If it's a remaster, not even a remake, who cares? I don't care. Just freaking give. But bro, I'll be more hyped for what's more feasible to me, which is another Gears. And I've notwithstanding my comments on what Gears needs to evolve, I think Gears. We know that the coalition have cancelled all the other projects. We know they're just working on Gears. So if you could see that would be big. But if you could see that, I know that you're talking about collections, but I just want to go and pivot to Gears a bit. But if you're going to see Gears, that means you're going to see gameplay because of what Aaron Greenberg said, or even a tiny bit of gameplay. And that's quite big. When was Gears 5 come out?
2019. Gears 5 came out in 2019. I mean, I guess it's possible Gears collection could be for this year. Lady Foxfire's in chat, says Gears 6,
oh my God,
let's
Lady
go.
Foxfire is like a freaking
Yeah, she hears Gears, she immediately types. Yep. I could see a Gears collection being announced and then like a teaser for Gears 6, essentially. I sort of think that's next year, not this year, but I don't know. Maybe it is this year. So Xbox actually uploaded their Xbox Game Showcase and Starfield Direct. The link is live. The premiere, which is probably why we have the release, the actual length of the show, because you can always look at the length of these premieres using tools and stuff like that. So yeah, no wonder we know that it's an hour 52 because the premiere has been uploaded. Oh yeah, it's all there. It's all ready, Gaz.
Oh, the chat's live. There's already 190 people.
I know, 190 people there. 676 likes. Come on, guys, hit the like button for us, not for Xbox yet. They haven't done anything. We're providing some entertainment. Hit the like button for us, me and Gaz. Subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Geez, what else we have here? We got a lot of super chats to get through, and it's like we were talking about the Summer Games Fest stuff, but Chuckle says Gears Pop 2 confirmed. Is that an actual thing? I mean, I hope not. They shut that first one down. Brian Jenks says Xbox News released a bingo card. What is the bingo here? I mean, it's just like a fun way to play. Like, oh, if Xbox says this, you get it's whoever gets a bingo for, I would imagine. It's not like it's Xbox releasing it. Solus Curve says they're showing the next Tomb Raider there, I bet. I mean, maybe. It's possible, I suppose. Carl Lennon says, do you think Phil is confident because he's doing an interview after the show on Giant Bomb? I mean, a lot of people took that to say that he's confident because him and Matt Booty are going to be on Giant Bomb, Gaz. But when E3 was still around and alive, Phil was on Giant Bomb with Jeff Gertzman and those guys every year, whether they had a good show or a bad show. So I think the thing is that Phil...
Was he on there last year?
Well, I mean, they haven't done the couch thing since 2019, right? So
Are they doing an actual in-event count?
Yeah.
The
Like
last one he did with what's his name, Gessman or whatever, was really good. Do you remember that? That was a very good show.
No, like Geoff and the Giant Bomb, they're all down there. I think it's actually going to be live, right? So
I think that's quite significant, by the way. I think it will be.
I mean, I'm looking forward to what they have to say. I do feel. I asked Jez, "How's Xbox feeling?" And he DM'd me like Xbox is really confident about what they have. So I mean, like,
wow,
you know,
and that's what I'm hearing from you.
No.
You heard it from Cog.
Well, Cog told me that Xbox is confident as well. So you know, people are telling me that that Xbox is confident. Okay. I mean, like,
yeah, and they weren't like that last year, people. So there's a big difference there. They are confident. They're bro. They're being saucy, man. Like, based on what you told me that they said to Cog, like that. You don't say that. That's as hype as you can go, bro.
Well, you don't say that to Jez either, right? Like, so it's just.
I'm such a. Am I high right now? I've been looking at the chat. The wrong chat. I've been looking at the Xbox Game Showcast chat for the 10 minutes. I see Shabs there, and I'm like, the chat's not moving as fast as it was, and I'm like, oh, I'm watching the wrong chat. Sorry, chat. But yeah, Giant Bomb is going to be. Do you know why it's going to be big, Rand?
Why?
I still remember the last one with Phil Spencer. That was it's going to be huge because he did a Kind of Funny games. And he was a complete depressed mess there. Like he said it himself. Like, I'm just not in a good mood, angry, whatever. You have a great showcase, and then you have that Giant Bomb trademark sit down with him, and he's obviously, you know, God willing, more, you know, positive, upbeat, and looks how he has life in his face. And that's a direct contention to what happened before, where he even basically alluded to his own tenure being a question. You know, like, remember when he said that?
No, yep.
When he said, "Oh, you know, if it's someone else here, bro, that you know, that kind of hurt to hear." Phil Spencer was a.
I mean, Phil's been in that position since 2014, and he's been in it for next year to be 10 years. And when you look at, you know, who runs these gaming companies, they don't stay very long, right? Even PlayStation, even X, like, it's very one of those things where you don't stay very long. And I do think Phil will retire
soon.
You know,
in the next
I don't know about
years.
soon, but I do think probably before the end of this generation, I think Phil will probably retire. And I don't know, you know, maybe Sarah Bond is the next chosen one and she'll run Xbox or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you know, Phil's done a lot. And you're right. I mean, does that sign of confidence? Potentially. I mean, if they think that they have a really good show, they're going to want to go talk about it on Giant Bomb and these other places. And we know Phil loves to talk, right? Phil loves to do interviews and PR and stuff like this way more than anybody at PlayStation really does, or even anybody at Nintendo, right? Phil's always out there. What I'm interested in, you know, Phil's always great for quotes, and I'm sure there'll be some stuff. We don't hear a lot from Booty really ever. Matt Booty is kind of always hidden. So with him being at the show, I wonder if that means there's going to be a lot of focus on Xbox Game Studios, talking about like Avowed, and talking about Fable, and talking about Hellblade. Like finally getting to see these games that you've revealed over 3 years. So having the head of Xbox Game Studios there, especially when maybe you look at it like this as not necessarily a coming out party, but a reemergence party, because, you know, there's a chance Hellblade has a gameplay demo with a release date, or Avowed has a gameplay demo with a year. You know, Xbox totally like teasing Fable, right? Forza Motorsport's coming out. There's probably some global publishing projects that are going to be announced, right? So it's not just Phil who's the head of the entire business, but you bring Matt along, who's just, that is his job, is getting together in running Xbox Game Studios. So, you know, we don't get to hear a lot from him. So I'd be interested to hear what he has to say. Let me get some more of these things.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah,
it'll be very, very important, and I hope it's in a way where it's like seen as a whole. It's such an endearing story. Like, I know it may sound lame to people, but as far as execs and game companies go, like, this man was very visibly distressed and beaten down after a big sizable, you know, dent to their ABK endeavor, and then the game hits like terribly a first-party studio, and he's looking a mess. And he talks about his own tenure being replaced, and then the showcase hits how it does. He sits down on the couch looking great, and it's a great story of how quick things change in the short space of time in 2023. So yeah, I'd love to see that.
I mean, Phil did say, even in the kind of funny thing, that they're finally ready. They're finally at the point where a one big game a quarter type thing, right? They're finally at that part, and
yeah,
I hopefully,
you can see it.
Yeah, hopefully we can see that, like the roadmap. It's like, okay, we got the stuff at the end of the year. What's 2024 look like? Looking good. We can see the vision. So yeah, we have Ralph Wiggum, who's also at FanFest, saying it's time to get hyped. Ralph. Both of you need to come to LA next year. I mean, that's the plan.
We need
that's
to do
the
it.
plan.
We need to do it.
Joe Repko, aka Flame, Gaz, Paris will just put his hand on your head and let you swing in place. Also, howdy gents, pour one out for the Atlas person who leaked those games. Yeah, he probably got fired for sure. Poor guy. Purple Haze says, hey, do you guys think it's possible Bethesda will drop a playable demo for Starfield Sunday? And if not, what demos you hope to be available to try Sunday after the showcase? I don't think there'll be a demo for Starfield. I think they're still, cranking down on that game. They still have some time to get the game finished. So I don't see the demo. I mean, we have a Liza P demo that came out from Summer Games Fest.
Did you try it?
Not yet. I don't really play demos. So
okay, fair enough. Apparently it's just a really long demo as well, like 3 hours long.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a very long demo with lots of bosses.
Oh, interesting. I don't think we'll see any demos at the Xbox show personally, but maybe I'll be wrong on that one. We have Punkadish, member for 26 months. This is really the moment Xbox can capitalize and make a huge statement. They can't miss their mark. Great show, guys. Much love. Thank you for being here, Punk. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the support.
Facts. Folk facts.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just kind of scroll through the rest of this Summer Games Fest thing. They showed a trailer for Path of Exile 2. I don't really have anything to say about that. Chime in if you do have something to say, Gaz, by the way, because we don't need to go individually talk about each one. They showed a Street Fighter 6 and Exoprimal collaboration. This is a day one Game Pass title. They showed you playing as Ryu as well as Guile. So that's sort of weird.
Interesting.
I thought it was kind of weird. Then we got Nicolas Cage on stage to talk about Dead by Daylight. And you know what? He seemed genuine and sincere. Like, usually you get these Hollywood celebrities and they're kind of like, whatever, I'm just here because they paid me to be here. But, I mean, it's Nick Cage, right? And this is why these
just look drunk, but Nick Cage actually was genuinely excited.
This is like why the live shows going away are sad in a sense. And everybody's doing digital because you can't really have a surprise like Keanu Reeves or Nick Cage because it's not live. You don't have the audience there going nuts. I remember when Keanu Reeves showed up, people went absolutely crazy. You remember?
Man, that was an incredible moment. That gave birth to a meme. No, you're wonderful. Whatever. It was. Yeah.
You're breathtaking. Breathtaking.
Breathtaking. So they don't even have like a stage thing there. So if Colt and them lot, what they're gonna be watching?
It's just like a bunch of chairs, and there's like a big theater screen, and everybody watches it together. It's the same thing they did last year,
Bro,
it's a watch party, bro.
I'd still come to see with you, man. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Okay, I thought it was actual stage. That's why I was excited about Idris Elba coming on stage. But
there's no stage. It's just gonna be. I mean, they already uploaded the premiere, so it's all filmed. If it was live, you wouldn't be able to do that, right? It'd just be streamed.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So then they showed a trailer for Witcher 3, Witcher Season 3 for Netflix. What do you think about this sudden, hey, let's show, because it wasn't just Netflix, and I guess Witcher makes sense because the video games, but then they showed later on a clip from Twisted Metal, and let me tell you, that looked god-awful. That looked abysmal. No wonder that show's on Peacock, right? Oh my lord.
Yeah. What is that, man? It's just butchering my childhood. Bro, I could have done a better job because I would go lean into Twisted Metal Black's dark story. Like, go into that. That story is so messed up. If you see, you can go watch it on YouTube, the cutscenes of some of the stories. The game was dark. The world was beautiful for it. Like, obviously, you'll still get. Is his name Axel? The guy, I don't know. The guy with the two tires. God, that's such a wicked design. David Jaffe definitely did hard drugs at the time, but this guy who's holding on to 2 tires is such a good design as a vehicle. It's so crazy. And Twisted Metal Black was insane. I remember that game, man. Like, this is after like 9/11, and this game, they tried to take out this scene where you can actually shoot a missile into a plane. It crashes into a building and leads to its whole path. And it was like that. They fought for that to keep that in the game, as far as I remember. But it's like that was David Jaffe, actually. I think. Shout out to
I wonder
him.
how he feels after.
I need to see his reaction of that. Axel,
because it looked awful.
Bro, what the hell was that? Bro, it looked like the guy, what's his name? The actor was just getting, I can't even say on the show, but it felt like he was just getting murked, like he was dropped his soap. I was like, what is this awkward scene with Sweet Tooth and that guy? It's like, this is just weird. I mean, I didn't watch that I was watching in streaming mode, and it was just like, the whole vibe was just weird. And like, I don't know. A movie thing, I haven't watched any of them. I even watched The Last of Us. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Last of Us is actually really good.
I know it's good. I need to check that out. I haven't even watched The Witcher. For some reason, I'm just kind of put off by them, even though they're really good. Which is funny because I watched a lot of the Machinima's Street Fighter remake, and that was incredible. More combat than burns the crap out of me because it was absolutely dog shit. And then, this Twisted Metal, anything. Like, I don't want to see this stuff on a showcase, man. It doesn't need to be in a game showcase. Like, this is why Reforged Gaming blocked me, because I was just kind of being obnoxious and just making fun of him for this take, but he does it on purpose. He does. So, like, for engagement. And he was like this, it makes sense because it's a game. So it's a video game show and a game showcase. What about Comic Book Con? You showed something that was a movie or something. I'm like, no, bro. There's a legacy here. No, there's more than, okay, fine, Sony had a terrible show. If they had a great showcase and then they showed the Gran Turismo trailer, I would still say it's stupid. We've already had a legacy with TV. Just don't put that stuff in there. Like, we don't care. Like, time, you have we wait all year for 90 minutes, or in this case, fair enough, 1 hour 50. And then we have that time go away with just taken away, bled on just movie trailers, and they're not even good trailers. So you waste of time. Just put like
if it was a good trailer, maybe, but like, it was bad. We had a new trailer for Witchfire. The game seems to like been around for a while. Some Crossfire VR stuff for PlayStation. The release date for Remnant 2, which is July 25th, kind of like Dark Souls with gun. The first game was all right. I might play the second one. We have Everborn Saga's biggest announcement of the show, which was Sonic Superstars, with a new look for Sonic, like a new kind of graphical stylized stuff. And whatever, like, my Sonic bros are happy, then I'm happy, but that doesn't really, interest me. We have Honkai Star Rail, the newest game from the developers of Genshin Impact, coming to PlayStation during Q4. Eliza P got an official release date trailer, delayed from August. It's coming September 19th, and you can play the demo now. Man, September's a big month for Xbox, for Game Pass, because not only do you have Starfield on the 6th, you have Liza P on the 19th. You even think of that Party Animals game coming on the 20th as for Game Pass titles, but then even outside of Game Pass, you have Mortal Kombat releasing that month. Like, dude, the end of this year is stacked, and it's already been a stacked year. Like, my wallet is crying, dude.
And they're gonna buy that Starfield thing for $300.
And you're gonna buy that, you're gonna buy that Starfield thing. We had a reveal of Sandland, which is like a manga made into a video game. I didn't really think it looked anything interesting.
Nah.
Throne and Liberty, which is an upcoming title from NCSoft and Amazon, wasn't my sort of thing. Nah. We had a short trailer for Party Animals, which releases on the 20th. A trailer for Crash Bandicoot Team Rumble, which is coming out June 20th, which that game really needs Game Pass, and it's not going to get it because of the ABK stuff. I don't really think that that game's going to... I don't think it's going to die. I think it is going to die.
You think it's going to die?
I think it's going to die. Then we had the gameplay reveal for Alan Wake 2, raw unedited. Bro, this is my most anticipated game for the rest of the year. Like,
really?
over Starfield, over Spider-Man 2.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake 2, baby. Yes, 100%.
Alan Wake 2 over Starfield.
Over Starfield, over Spider-Man, over anything coming out the rest of the year. Alan Wake 2. Are you serious? Are you not interested in Alan Wake 2? Are you crazy?
I'm interested, but what you're saying is pretty freaking out there, bruv.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying in a bad
bruv.
way. I'm just saying that's cool. That's really cool. I did not know you're that big an Alan Wake
Bro,
fan.
I love Remedy games. They've never really disappointed me. People always ask, like, if you could talk to Phil or whatever and get one game made that, you're never going to get. You're the game you always... I'm like, it's Alan Wake 2. Like,
That's weird. Did we
like
ever
when they
talk
went to
about
do
this?
Alan
I
Wake
don't
and then they went to do
remember
Quantum
talking about
Break and then we didn't get a sequel to either of them. I was like, this is so disappointing because there's a really like cool world you built with Sil says over Hellblade 2. Well, if Hellblade 2 is this year, then it's number 1. We don't know if it's this year. So I'm assuming
So you're more hyped for Hellblade 2 than you are Alan Wake, which you are more hyped for than Starfield.
So the it would be
So you're a
Hellblade
really big
2, Alan Wake
Hellblade
2,
fan.
and then above Hellblade 2 is my most anticipated Xbox first party game, like without a shadow of a doubt.
That is so weird. Well, how am I discovering this now? So that what can we? What Hellblade 1 you thought was really good?
Dude, Hellblade 1 I loved. I played it. I played it
really
day one
liked
on
it.
PlayStation 4. I was just like so into the story and the acting and like the whispers. Yeah, I mean like the gameplay was, a bit on the simplistic side. When you realize like 12 people, 15 people worked on it with a $10 million budget, right? And yeah, okay, it was for what it was, for the budget it had, for the people that worked on. I thought it was amazing. Like, yeah, and you could look at it like
really
later
good
on,
game.
like, oh, well, it was just kind of half walking, half puzzle, half combat, and the combat wasn't that intricate. Fair enough, but during the time I was playing it, I was like, this is great. And the reason I was like looking at it is like, I didn't think we'd see a sequel, and now we are. But now they're acquired by Microsoft, so it's got to have a bigger budget. It's got more developers working on it. So to me, it's one of those games where it's like Uncharted 2. Where you get to see the improvement. And now it's just like, not only do you get to see the improvement, you get the bigger budget because now it's under Microsoft first party. So now the game can be bigger, the world can be bigger. It can just be more than walk here, fight somebody, walk again, solve a puzzle with the lines, move forward, rinse and repeat. You can do more things. You can be more of an RPG. You can have more intricate combat, right? So, and I mean, it worked for what it was with the mental illness and that type of story it was telling. I'm really interested in seeing the improvement, right? Which I think we'll see during this game showcase. I think we'll see the gameplay,
I think combat is the big one. The combat is the big one.
Hargeet says, wait, Rand, you like Crossfire X? That wasn't a disappointment to you? I didn't play Crossfire X. So...
Crossfire X?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play Crossfire X.
He says you liked it. Lies, Hargeet. You come here to lie.
I never played. Yeah, why are you lying on my name, Hargeet? I mean,
no, but that's really, bruh, Rand. Do I know you? What the hell? That's quite surprising because I'm not saying in a negative way. It's really cool. Yeah, and you explained why. And I'm actually in agreement about why I like those games, but Starfield is still considerably above those games to me. And I haven't completed Fallout. But I love their games, but space and the scope of this has got me like that. But I agree with you. But you're saying like literally Alan Wake 2 is your number two, and that means you really loved Alan Wake 1. I thought it was good. I thought the combat got a bit samey with the torch. I reviewed it. I gave it a 7 at the time.
Oh, Hargeet's talking about Crossfire X because the single player was played by Remedy. I didn't play the single player of Crossfire X.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I'm talking about Control, Quantum Break, Alan Wake, Max Payne.
Mid.
I mean, come on.
I mean, Quantum Break was mid.
Excuse me?
Max Payne.
Stop lying.
Break is mid.
Stop lying on Quantum Break. # save Beth.
Oh my
it's
god!
It's so
Quantum
disappointing. We're never going to see a sequel to Quantum Break. Are you serious?
We could. There's a lot of potential with it. Bro, it's just the way the gameplay when the AI was poor, the puzzles were terrible, the movie stuff dragged it, but there were some cool bits. I remember when you were following the bad guy's story for a while, and he's got a family, and the game just drops him in as a boss for you to kill. That was epic. Feel like they could, if they're going to explore the TV element of it, they should have done it strongly, and they didn't do that, in my opinion, in terms of implementation in the game. But Quantum Break was just very mid with a very good budget, and Quantum Break 2 could rectify all those problems. So I'm kind of sad as well. But it's interesting that Alan Wake 2 is your number 2, and we take it for granted. But yeah, Alan Wake. Someone else was saying they used to play it with their friends, used to come around and take turns to play freaking Alan Wake.
I'm just so excited we finally get a continuation of the story, right?
It's amazing.
Of that universe.
No, it's great.
Because we have Firestarter66 saying Rand is more of a video gamer instead of a video gamer. It's why he doesn't care for Zelda. That is not true. That is not true whatsoever. Look, it's
Yo.
Look, you see, I push back on that. Like, there are plenty of games I play that aren't like single player focused or story focused. I play everything. I love most of what I play. The reason I don't care about Zelda is because I don't really care about Nintendo. That's not to say I wouldn't play Zelda. It's not to say I would never play the Breath of the Wild. It's just the Nintendo Switch is the third console in my house. So the third console doesn't get really turned on ever, right? My PlayStation hardly ever gets turned on. It only gets turned on when there's exclusive games for it, which not that often, right? Yeah. And I have to be interested in it too. So
turn on months. Yeah.
Yeah, if Zelda's great, I would play Zelda, and I would say exactly my thoughts on it. It has nothing to do with
I feel like you're missing out though, because Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is incredible.
Maybe I am. I don't know. It's not one. I watch a trailer for Zelda, and it just doesn't excite me. But then I watch it. But
you can't watch a trailer.
But then here's the thing: I watch a trailer for Diablo, and that trailer doesn't excite me either, right? Because I only really I just like Diablo. I don't really love Diablo. So
just play Tears of the Kingdom for me, please.
For you,
play it
for you.
You'll love it. You'll love it. It's an incredible game that. I need to get back. This is another game that I'm playing. I'm trying to freaking sort my freaking life out and do content at the same time. But all these games are taking up our time. And if you don't, make content, people get pissed. If you don't play the games, they're like, "Oh, do you even play games?" They're like, "What do you want me to do?" But Tears of the Kingdom, I'm playing on the train to work and on the way back on my commute. I don't do that, because it's just long in the stuffy train. But I play that game. That game is incredible. Rand, please play that game.
I mean, maybe at some point when there's. I mean, I got so many games I wanna play, but back to Summer Games Fest. Alan Wake 2, love it. 2 campaigns essentially. One is the FBI woman. One is, I think, Alan Wake. I mean, October. They kind of got screwed though, because it's October 17th, right? October 12th is Mirage with Assassin's Creed. October 17th is Alan Wake. And October 20th is Spider-Man. We'll get to that.
My God.
It's so next was Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Oh man, day one for me. Day one. I really liked the first one. This one's got co-op, I think 3 players. Coming this winter, so I guess it could be early next year, because winter kind of.
Man.
I think it looks really cool. They showed a trailer for Your Grey Snowfall. They showed a trailer for John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, which I don't know about that game. I don't know.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah, that was the one where they were on the truck and there were zombies. It looked like a first-person Days Gone kind of experience with 4-player co-op. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Baldur's Gate 3 had something with a new voice actor, Jason Isaacs. Then we had someone come out to talk about Spider-Man 2, that Venom is not Eddie Brock, and that we got a release date, which is October 20th. Gaz said you before the show you were going to go in during this section because you had some things to say about why they show the release date for Spider-Man 2 here and a new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but not at PlayStation's own show, which.
Is anyone not answering that question, thinking the same thing? Like, the show was so terrible, you reserved They misplayed their hand. I think they felt like Summer Game Fest. They needed to have a presence there because the competition might one up them there. Otherwise, why on earth would you reserve those for that show? Considering how poor the PlayStation Showcase was, that you thought the release date for freaking Spider-Man and the gameplay for Final Fantasy VII 2, which would have taken it up a few notches for a lot of people. For me, we wouldn't really do that. We knew Final Fantasy VII 2 was coming. I thought it was coming out at the end of this year. It was announced, wasn't it? End of 2023, but now
I think it was like winter
2024.
2023, which could be like early 2024 if you want to look at it. Here's what I think happened. I have two scenarios in my head. One, the PlayStation Showcase and the demo that they had built for Spider-Man 2 at the time when they were putting it together, they weren't sure if they could hit a September release, which is why it wasn't there. And now people are like, 2 weeks later, but I mean, that's not necessarily the case. Maybe now they feel confident that they can hit October 20th. It gives them enough time. They can have the game out by then. So that's one scenario where it's like when they were putting together the PlayStation Showcase, they just weren't sure. They just weren't sure that the game was going to be able to be completed. And then when they were doing this, because they didn't have any footage, you saw it, right? It was just, here's a dude on stage to looking at some concept art, just concept art. And then a trailer. And then there's the trailer that it was just the end of the thing. It was just like, be greater together. And it was finally October 20th. Maybe there's also a sense that PlayStation felt the backlash from their show. And they quickly pivoted and was like, okay, we need to have something for Keighley's. We need to have the release date. But then again, maybe Summer Games Fest. Maybe Summer Games Fest has the bigger audience. So you would potentially want to show the bigger audience right after the new Spider-Man Miles Morales movie's out, right? Spider-Verse, when their new Spider-Man game is like when you could actually play it, right? I don't know. There's a couple ways you could look at it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, can they react in the space of 2 weeks to then put Keighley like, hey, Keighley? Well, Keighley will take it because he desperately needs big showings on the showcase for it to succeed. But if that's a last minute addition, that could be something. I just feel like they just misread it and said, okay, we'll have this showcase, and obviously we need to have something in the showcase on Geoff Keighley's show because it looked bad. Maybe that's just misread it. I don't know. But Xbox's presence wasn't massive there, so like.
Well, why would you expect an Xbox presence there? I mean, they have their show 2 days later. So
yeah, exactly. So I don't know why it doesn't make any sense then. If you Xbox have their showcase, so we don't, we're going PlayStation. I don't. Well, unless they're holding back stuff, and I've got the receipt, so they're saying, the Summer Game Fest. That didn't really work out, did it? So, like, I think PlayStation are holding their cards close to their chests, man. They should have gone for the jugular, and the fact they didn't, by the way, suggests to me, and the PlayStation fanboys going to hate me saying it, but it feels like their stuff is not ready on the first party front, and how much CGI. Bro, if this was Xbox, we would be saying the same thing. Like the CGI that they shown off only, like how far their games, the same narrative. Like, so PlayStation, they're coming in, like, I don't know what's happening with them. Like, I'm not saying definitively, but that was such a bad show. It should ask all PlayStation fans to question whether or not, they've got their right, what's happening. Because they blew their load early on in this gen, uncharacteristic of PlayStation. They don't do that. And I think it's just aligned well, especially the nature of their cross-gen games as well. Yes, they delivered current-gen only games. It just happened the way it just landed the development timeline. But I think the other studios, we keep thinking they weren't affected by COVID, but they have. They may be further away, Rand. If I was a PlayStation guy, I'd be pretty down. Like, when are we going to see the roadmap? We've been waiting for 2 years. They waited, and then they still don't get to see the roadmap. I would be so annoyed. I just think, I have a feeling they don't have that much. I'm not saying they might prove me wrong, but I just don't think they have. And I don't expect some big reveal. I think they'll be straining to reveal things though, because the community has quite, loudly said that that's a failure of a showcase. So they may have to try and quickly be forced to reveal something of Wolverine or, but that's crazy. That's the swings and roundabouts in the industry, bro. All I'm saying is I don't give a shit because it's gonna get lit on Xbox. Yeah, Sunday we hold the line. Oh!
You're absolutely crazy. You know that?
Yeah.
The sauce is crazy. The sauce is nuts. What else we got? We got Pale World, which is Pokemon with guns. It's kind of crazy. Land of the Morning Light for Black Desert. A game that I don't really care. Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, which kind of looked bad. Now we're gonna get a lot more Lord of the Rings games. Final Fantasy VII for the phone. Ever Crisis.
That looked good.
I mean, it looked okay. Banisher's Ghost of the Eden from Dontnod, coming out the end of the year. Looks interesting. Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the Man Who Erased His Name's coming out like November 9th for all the people who love Yakuza. Under the Waves, coming October 29th. I'm interested in that game. Seems like something I might enjoy. Call of Duty Season 4 world premiere trailer. Whatever. Nobody cares about that. Fae Farm, nobody cares about that either. Marvel Snap stuff, King Arthur Legends Rise mobile game, Wayfinder, Stellar Nexus is kind of like, okay, space trash scavenger. You kind of get to the part of the game where it's like, huh? Star Trek Infinite, the sneak peek for Twisted Metal, which everybody hated and also blocked everybody's reactions on YouTube. They basically blocked it. Yeah.
That's great. And not even a game blocked it. It was a bloody movie.
Yeah, it was a bloody movie. Immortals of Avium, a new trailer for that, which kind of looks like Doom with magic. New Fortnite trailer. And then finally they ended with the world premiere trailer of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it'll be on 2 discs. So that is the Summer Games Fest. I thought it was all right. The Summer Games Fest stuff are kind of, the Game Awards is usually better. They have the bigger reveals and stuff like that, right? And no, I'm not going to be playing Palgun with Pokemon with guns. So that's just not going to happen. Anyways.
It's pretty dry. I think I was surprised at how generous people were with their assessment of the showcase. Remember, this is a show that's supposed to replace E3, man. And I felt like it was so... I don't think that's a show even Geoff Keighley himself would rate highly.
Some of the problem is games take so long now, and publishers are kind of wary about revealing stuff too early, and especially without gameplay, that they rely on CGI stuff. So, back in the day, you could get cool reveals all the time from all the publishers because they were pumping out games every 2 years. Now games take such a long time that you can't always have cool stuff in your show. You might have maybe, like Geoff, who's trying to get everything from everybody, but everybody also has their own shows. PlayStation's got their own show. Xbox has their own show. Nintendo has their own Direct. Ubisoft has their own. Like, why would you want to give Geoff, something that could make your show more appealing to people, right? So
I don't think Phil Spencer likes Geoff.
You think so?
I don't think so. I don't think he likes him. Again, this is me. My observation might not be real at all. I think he finds Keighley annoying. I feel just from the body language, and then obviously with the Game Awards, he just looked like he was burdened by just being there. Now, you might say that's not necessarily directed to Geoff Keighley, because at that same week we had heard about the deal being, I think it was blocked or something happened. The CMA did something. So it looked pretty sketchy at the time. And Phil Spencer obviously looked that trademark red hue. He looks like really, and I just don't think he likes Geoff Keighley. And I feel like Geoff Keighley's very opportunistic. That's not a critique on him, but opportunistic way in which the mere seconds after E3 was announced to be cancelled, he is almost planned it. Like he had his promo assets, everything ready. He just announced instantly. The corpse wasn't even cold, and he was there going, "Yeah, okay, watch the Summer Games Fest." Literally as seconds E3 died, and I think that kind of gives an indication of the predisposition of someone like Geoff Keighley, who is that marketeer, massive, like high energy, like aggressive, basically, persistent guy. And I don't know if that always as someone who is quite like extroverted and loud and often described as obnoxious, I see that. But I feel like, Geoff Keighley and Phil Spencer's energies don't match. I don't know why I'm talking about this for a while, but I think a lot of chat. Let me know what you think. But I've always observed it that way. I just feel like he felt like he got burnt sitting front row watching his failure as game after game was being awarded to PlayStation, and Xbox barely got, I think he just got one award, and he's just sitting there looking really uncomfortable, not even pretending to be happy that he's there. So yeah, that's my reading of it. Now Phil Spencer may say this is complete nonsense, and it's really horrible for this guy who doesn't know me to say this about my feelings for someone else. But I'm just being honest. Just blame the drugs. Huggy with $5 super chat. He has given, ladies and gentlemen, I am the host now. He has given a Street Fighter 6 Deluxe code.
Look at that.
Resident Evil 4. He is there in this place, and he still has the heart to donate games. If you claim that code, let us know. This message was brought to you by our sponsors, Just Eat, or whatever the thing.
HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a sponsor. Yes, Hargeet dropping codes for Street Fighter 6 Deluxe as well as Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is an amazing game. I haven't gotten that far in Street Fighter 6 yet, but if you do grab those codes, make sure you give Hargeet a huge thank you. Huge thank you for dropping that. So, Gaz, that Summer Games Fest, right? Let's talk about the Xbox One, because Aaron was hyping people up, right? Aaron was doing some work. People were asking him questions on Twitter. Basically, hey, 12 months going to be a thing? He says no, which is great. Nobody wants that 12-month thing ever to come back. He said that there's going to be no TV or movie trailers at all, which is great considering we've been subjected to that. And they could probably run a Fallout TV show trailer or a Halo Season 2 trailer with Master Chief. Nobody wants to see that, right? None of their first-party games in the show are full CGI trailers. Everything is either in-game footage, in-game engine footage, or in-engine footage, or in-game footage with some cinematics. And each of the trailers will be labeled so it's clear. So either you're going to get straight-up gameplay, maybe with the HUD removed, or in-engine footage, however that looks like. I think Fable, when they reveal... My prediction was that they're going to open the show with Avowed gameplay. Maybe it won't be that long. Maybe it'll be 3 minutes. And the end of the show closer is going to be Fable. And it'll be in-engine with kind of a voiceover. That won't be gameplay, and I don't think they'll date it, because I do think Fable is a little bit further out. And then
that's quite interesting what you've said there, because what you're suggesting is whilst the 12-month plan officially has died, then we might actually be getting a 12-month plan because of this almost announcement that most of it's going to be gameplay or any gameplay.
Well, yeah, it's like good old Collingwood said in Super Chat, if there are no CGI trailers, does that mean there won't be any new projects we don't know about announced at the showcase? That doesn't necessarily mean that, because you could announce something with an engine trailer. You don't necessarily need CGI. So, and Aaron was just talking about first party, so there could easily be CGI trailers for third party games, for indie titles and stuff. He was strictly talking about first party. I do think there'll be announcements of games that aren't announced yet. The Wandering Tower, which is Stoic's project, which is Project Belfry, I think will show up. And, I think even In Exile could show up with something, right? Just because you're not going to have CGI doesn't mean you can't have new announcements. Xcrunch in the Super Chat says, glad to see Gaz on Xbox 2. Game on Daily and Xbox 2 are the best. I started an Xbox YouTube channel, and I want to know what was your best learning that helped you grow your tubes. Gaz, what was your best learning to grow the tubes, bro?
I can tell you right now, YouTube does not prioritize quality, consistency. It's just the way the algorithm works. If you churn out a load of crap multiple times a day, YouTube will push your stuff harder. Obviously, the better the quality, the better your engagement and growth. So I'm not saying forsake quality. I will never do that. My rule is the opposite. I will just focus on quality. I can't do that. But that's why I have 2 channels now, trying to test things. But if you're a YouTuber in the space, want to make it bro, we're all trying to figure out YouTube, man. It's long and it's still a grind. I'm grateful for all the audience here, but it is a grind. So just bear that in mind, especially if you have a full-time job. So don't go into it half-hearted. Have a plan, and just be consistent.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about YouTube is, Gaz is right. Don't go into it thinking it's going to be your full-time job. Don't go into it thinking you're going to make a ton of money on it. Do it as a hobby, as something you want to do. And I mean, he's 100% right in the sense that YouTube favors, unless you're super huge creator and already well known and you can get that sort of engagement. But if you're brand new, it's about basically getting your name out there. It's about putting out videos at a consistent rate. That is the most important thing. Especially if you're starting out and you release one video 1 week and then another video 3 weeks later, you're not at that point where people will remember or even care. So you need to be consistent and just talk about what you're passionate about. That's really, be real and talk about what's your passion and upload consistently. And then, as you grow and get better, you can work on the quality stuff. But Gaz is right. Like, quality, because an algorithm can't really determine quality, can it?
It can only kind of based on like counts and the.
Well, yeah, it can look at some of the analytics and be like, oh, this video's getting, the watch time on it's really high and the likes on it are really high and the engagement high. So people must be liking. The algorithm's not going to be like, this must be a quality video. All the algorithm's going to be like, oh, this is a video people want to watch, so we will push it, right? So it's about being consistent in the beginning, talking about what you love, and not expecting anything. Maybe you'll find your niche and be a success, or you won't. I mean, I don't know. Just do it for fun. That's what I started doing.
That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, like we don't do it for money. It was going to be a long slog. Do it for your fun first. Some guy called Jez. I don't know. Have you heard this guy?
I don't know. I don't heard about this guy.
He looks like a piece of crap. He says this podcast is way better without that loser Jez. I agree. Who was that guy? I don't even remember him anymore.
I mean, it's no longer. People can say it's Jez Corden's Xbox 2 because he's been replaced.
Yeah, bye, Jez.
This is Gaz's Xbox 2. I'm still not even in the title. Nobody cares about Rand. This is the sauce.
You cannot be replaced, Jez. You are the Jez factor. I've already seen people in chat go, this guy's on crack. I'm out of here.
Well, the difference between Jez and you is very. You're on one end of the spectrum. Jez is on a completely different end of the spectrum. So it's like it's a little whiplash, right?
Whiplash.
But it was either not do a show or do the show with the SAUCE Master. And it was like, we got to do the show.
I am so grateful. I'm grateful. I'm having a lot of fun. Sorry, Jez, but I'm going to take your place. It's nice and warm here. It's nice. It's nice.
Jez, I want to know. Put it in chat. Are you hearing any leaks, bruv? What's going on down in LA? Who are you talking to down there, bro? Do you know the whole show yet? Like, talk to the chat. Let them know. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what you're hearing.
I want to see this. I want to taste everything fresh off the market Sunday. I want to see everything and be wowed. I just want to be a grown man going, ah! I'm not going to be a grown man screaming at this way some of the guys were squealing at Spider-Man, like, ah, he's trying to get to symbiote. I'm like, shut the f***. How do you even have sex? Sorry, that was a bit saucy. But shout out to Jez. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know either. What were we talking about?
Are you on shrooms as well?
No.
So, yeah. So,
Alarm says Andy Robinson is T's Fable. Has he?
Oh,
I mean, Xbox themselves sort of tease Fable, right? So, I mean, Hargeet, another with the super chat. E3 was a bunch of game demos in the convention center. Most of us cared about the live showcases and pubs stopped doing them. Any showcases now are digital. Only live thing we have is SGF plus play days.
Andy Robinson just tweeted, I reckon the Xbox conference tomorrow is going to be fabulous.
Oh, wow.
You piece of ass.
I mean, come on. It was apparent that Fable was going to be at the show. I mean, come on.
No. Bro, no, this is not a negative. Xbox already had the glitter thing. So Andy doing it is good. We want to see Fable.
You'll see Fable. The question is, where will you see Fable? I think it closes the show. It could open the show, but I think it's either opening or closing. Those are the only two spots for it. But I think it closes.
Well, Dutch was mentioning closing it, and I think that was a good idea when he was talking about on his podcast. I think that's a really all the shows execution. You could have the exact same content of the show, like literally have fixed content, and they give you an hour slot. You can completely kill the show, by the way, by the way you show things in what order. I will die in my grave. Well, it depends. Is it a series of degrees? But I will tell you right now, like there's ways to present it. There's ways you need to go at the start of a show, you go high. You have to have something like that will stop the watching the clock syndrome right off the bat. It's just human psychology. So go high. So at the start, they need to show. What would they show at the start? What do you think? Avowed is actually a good shout. Avowed is a really boom first party, boom gameplay for a game that we know. It had from Obsidian announced ages ago. We get to see the gameplay of it. Done. Now we're like, all right, they've already started off the bat with first party. Great. Now, what do you show next? That's why Forza needs to be in the middle, because you don't want to spike audience interest and blow your load in the middle. You might think you would do, but no, it's the start and the end. Middle ones, peaks here and there, big peaks here and there. Like it's just Forza in the middle is a good peak, and then a little bit, and then boom, Hellblade a little later. I won't show it before the middle point. I would show it after the middle point. Show Hellblade, like, oh, that's amazing, because like, and then people are like, all right, we're happy with this now. If it ends, that'll be like a solid show. But anything extra, we're gonna feel like, oh, like the multiplier effect applies. I know it sounds stupid, but think of it as a video game. Boom, now you have ×2. Like anything good after Hellblade is shown is gonna get people hyped. Someone in the chat says State of Decay 3. State of Decay 3 is an excellent.
Honestly,
excellent title.
I don't think they should have teased Fable. I don't think Xbox should have teased Fable. Like I think that stuff should have just been a surprise, and people, because the thing is, like, look at it last year with the Hideo Kojima announcement. Nobody was really surprised because Jeff Grubb had talked about that game for over a year, about how Xbox was partnering with Kojima. Right now, Xbox social team teased Fable, and people are going back and forth. And it looks like it is a tease for Fable. Now just Fable is expected. It's not really a surprise. Although I guess maybe there's a difference between the hardcore Xbox Twitter circle and YouTube community and the wider community. Maybe there'll still be a surprise to a lot of people. But I almost feel like they shouldn't have done that, because ending the show with Fable would have gotten people so excited. The thing is, I don't mind leaks per se. Like, I don't mind when someone says, oh, this is a project or this could be there. And I try to, like, not talk about that a lot. But this is different. It's like Xbox sort of teased it themselves. If I tease something, it doesn't really mean anything because I could be wrong. And I don't normally do that anyways. But this is Xbox themselves putting it out there, right? Yeah. I sort of feel like maybe the reaction to Fable would be a lot... there'd be a lot more surprise reactions if they didn't do it themselves. But whatever. I mean, they're the marketing team and everybody, so it is what it is. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who don't believe Fable's there, or either way. But then Aaron did say one more thing, Gaz. He said in this tweet chain basically that
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. He said he has no plans to tease, temper, or spoil anything. Loves seeing all the wild expectations. My advice is just come in open-minded and enjoy the ride. Appreciate the years of hard work so many teams have put their heart and soul into this for you all. Now, Aaron's usually the type of person to temper expectations, but not having it this year. You know, Sarah Bond's out there hyping the show up on Twitter. You know, so...
I mean, you can read into that tweet as well. Like, he mentions at the end something about the work of developers over years. And, you know, to me, that suggests, like, we're seeing basically that comprehensive amount of gameplay for the games. That's why State of Decay, you know, might actually get shown. The wild one, which I don't expect to be shown, but the wild one, I will be like, yo, this was shown? Perfect Dark. If that is shown, I will be shocked, because they'll have to show gameplay supplemented with CGI. They already had a CGI trailer that won't even flow anyway. Based on everything we're hearing about about Perfect Dark, that game should be like pretty far away, not that close. But if that is shown, then I don't even know what to say, because that will just combo breaker everything for me. That means everything is fair game. So I will be shocked if you see Perfect Dark. I don't think that's gonna make it, but that would be a huge thing. That'd be a huge thing. I think people need to understand that. It's like almost like Rare's Everwild. And somehow this team, despite doing all the work and building the engine and whatever, the assets and stuff, gameplay-wise, they reconciled what their creative dysfunction was in terms of trying to come up with a concept for the game. Or maybe it was a smaller, you know, less drastic change, but it sounds like it was like down from the grassroots. So, you know, Everwild being shown, or so anything from like Rare, I'd be quite surprised. So, you know, you're not going to see those, man. Like, so in terms of tempering expectations, I've seen a lot of people think that we are wrong with Perfect Dark when we say that it's far off. And I just don't understand how people think that based on all the departures and what we've heard. Even if you don't put stock in the rumor mill, the staff turn up is pretty considerable. And we have had other stories of massive turnover at Xbox Studios. So that's why I'm hyped to see State of Decay. State of Decay showing off is also a statement that these, you know, Undead Labs are not as unhealthy as thingy thought, but most of their staff has left, if I remember correctly. So, you know, there's a lot to prove here. But, you know, I will say this, and chat, you can hold me to it in the future. Well, one of these games is not, well, some of these games will not hit the quality mark. They will fail by their metric standards. Like Perfect Dark could be not Fable. I'm so confident in Fable. Why wouldn't I be confident in Playground games? They're incredible. But but Perfect Dark might be the failure. The big
No. Crystal Dynamics is good dev. We have Carl Lennon in the chat saying we don't know what Fable looks like. Gaz rocks.
Shout out to you, man.
So,
Fable, can I just say something? And someone, I think in another show, everyone had a go at me. But I'm going to stick by what I said. I don't want any fart jokes and like the Fable, like, I mean, I do. I don't mind if it's like thingy. But one of the things that annoyed me about Fable, and I completed 1, 2, and 3, and I love 2. Both really good, but 2 was incredible. But just the whole, right, mate. It's like, that's not going to work. Or is it? I don't know what people want, because I think the community is torn on that. But I don't want a dark, realistic game before you even say that. Hit the fantasy vibes, but tone down a bit of the cheesiness of the humor. I don't know. Maybe
I actually kind of agree with that. I actually kind of agree about, like, you can have all the British humor in the world, but like, no press this button to fart or whatever. Like, I think that's dated, and I don't know. I don't want that in the game. Trey Duke says Scalebound. Hope not at all. And I don't even want to think about that. So Gaz, what's your hype level? What are you at right now? You 10 out of 10? You 11 out of 10? You 12 out of 10? What's the hype level for you?
I'm hyped, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just hyped. I'm just like I'm trying to come up in my head of ways that this will fail, and it's just really hard. They have to really shit the bed to mess this up. Which I'm not saying they will not, but I just find it really hard. I think this Xbox is set up for wins here. I mean, by default, they almost win just by showing Starfield to me. And then I'm not saying that's an effective or good show. I'm just saying comparatively. But in terms of as a show in its own right, I feel like everything is set up because COVID was the thing. People did suffer. We had not just a pandemic, but epidemic of game delays almost across the board. And we're starting to see I'm praying we start to see these games and Xbox have a good showcase, because that signals that the rest of the industry is catching up, man. Because the faster that happens, the faster I can say goodbye to these stupid cross-gen games, so we can have developers more convinced, like really go into invest into current gen consoles. PlayStation obviously is selling bucket loads. That's actually helping the industry move forward as well in terms of focusing development on current gen tech. So yeah, I'm expecting a mad show, man. It's going to be a great show. I feel like it's going to be an epic show. And if like Jet Set Radio just comes in addition to the things we were talking about, I don't. It'll be the.
You really need that Jet Set Radio, huh? You really want that?
Oh, bro. I mean, Jet Set Radio in addition to everything else. I'm not one of those like Jet Set Radio. Everything is fine. No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say Jet Set Radio. I mean, I didn't like Jet Set Radio on Dreamcast. I like Jet Set Radio Future. It was way better as a game, way better. So if they make I don't know what this Jet Set Radio be, or reboot or remake or whatever, but that in addition to everything, this could be grand. And it's not just hype. But this could be a big show, the best show that Xbox could have.
Could be. Alvin says those departures for the initiative were over 2 years ago, and those positions have long been filled. The studio has been in a good spot for 2 years plus.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, the departures that they don't work doesn't just carry smoothly. That departure could have caused backlog considerably. Conceptually, you were talking about senior positions on quite creative level. The literal creative design guy left, but creative director, sorry. So it's not static. But it'll take time. But yeah, I hope I'm right. I don't want to be right on my pessimism with the. If all those studios, actually, I would want that studio to be the best. If you're like, Gaz, here's your card of like studios, the Coalition. You got Ninja Theory. You got all the whatever Playground Games. They've got a pedigree. You get to pick one card, and that studio will become. It'll get, I don't know, plus 20 megaton points, so that it'll focus the resources on that one. It would be the Initiative, because the Initiative, in my opinion, represents quite an important thing. This is an Xbox homegrown first-party studio. Everyone says like even the studios that Microsoft acquires is done through assimilation from consolidation. I think it's just nonsense anyway. But other than just the console warring point, I think there is value in a first-party studio that you have kind of built from the ground up, and you, with your resources, have managed to foster a team. I mean, it's a microcosm of the state of Xbox in many ways. A first-party studio like the Initiative delivering a game, I think, is very important. That's why I would put all my stock on the Initiative if I could help a studio improve. Not, again, speculative chat. Like whoever did that super chat earlier, like that. You're absolutely. You may be right. So I'm just erring the side of caution, but I really want the Initiative to be successful. So if they are good, and you are right, that's epic. That's the studio. I think people need to. I know people say, "Oh, Perfect Dark." Like, does anyone even know about it? It's not about that. It's about the Initiative doing something epic, and I think they can, because Perfect Dark Zero wasn't great, and what they focusing on, based on what they said, sounded really cool. Gameplay wise, this bobbing and weaving, the almost a Mirror's Edge type, gameplay, parkour mixed with combat. I've always said, like, the movement is so important in a first person shooter. That's the next phase of evolving the formula. And Perfect Dark sounded like that. They were focusing on wall running and jumping, sliding, and it's like, we need to see a bit more of that. And gamers right now, even in the multiplayer space, are veering towards Titanfall and other games like that, begging for movement. It's just so funny they're clamoring for it when when they did do it. Respawn, you just kind of ignored them, in my opinion. But yeah, man, People in chat say like you're being like Colin Moriarty. No, man, I actually want the initiative to be successful. I'm not saying I have no insider information. This is old information, so they could evolve, and I'll be the happiest person alive. No, that's an exaggeration, but I'll be very happy if the initiative is back in its game. But if they do show Perfect Dark, and they'll show gameplay because of what Aaron Greenberg said, that is insane. That is insane. Even saying it now, if it happened, even though I premeditated the shock, it's just these are just words.
I don't think Perfect Dark is going to be there, guys. So
I don't think so.
You don't need to worry
about
it.
That'd be how crazy.
I mean, you're going to have a show that's going to have Forza Motorsport and Starfield direct, right? Starfield and Forza, one coming out September, one coming October. You're going to have Avowed. You're going to have Fable. You're going to have Hellblade 2, most likely. You're going to have new announcements, maybe from the Compulsion and In Exile. You're going to have Game Pass stuff, indies, third party. We already got the Persona leaks, right? Leaky Ump says he hopes that Persona isn't the only major AAA third party stuff at the show. So there's a lot here. There's, that is going to be on, because you haven't seen any of this stuff in since 2020. So you're finally going to be like, what does Avowed look like? What is Fable going to look like? All this stuff. So I don't
think it's State of Decay 2?
No, I don't think State of Decay 3 or Everwild or Perfect Dark. I think those are next year. I think you'll see those next year. I think it's maybe even possible you might see Perfect Dark at the Game Awards at the end of this year, potentially.
Really?
I mean, there's always the potential. I mean, they did Hellblade 2. They did the reveal.
Says it.
In Exile, I think could reveal their game at the show, but I think the show is going to be really damn good. It's just, how does the game show? What of it do they show? How long? Like the gameplay stuff. Like, my expectations are pretty high. My expectations are pretty high for the show, especially when you have people like Jez, being like, man, they're really confident, and you see them like Xbox is out here teasing Fable of all games. Like, normally they don't really go this hard. Phil's doing an interview with Giant Bomb afterwards. And with how the Summer Games Fest as well as the PlayStation show were received, I think Xbox probably feels really confident they have a really, really damn good show. And it's like, hey, you're coming to that point where the games are going to all start releasing, so you're going to have to start showing them off. So yeah, I'm excited to watch the show, to stream it on Sunday. It's going to be a good time. We're going to transition to Patreon questions. So if you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. We don't have that many questions this week because I think everybody put questions to Jez to get stuff answered from the executive. So I didn't get many questions because it shows that everybody's here for Jez. Elijah says, all right, Rand, since this will be after the showcase, which of your predictions were actually leaks? Well, this isn't after the showcase. You must have got the timing wrong. You're going to have to wait until next week, and then maybe I'll tell you which stuff I knew about, and I will say the stuff I know about is a small microcosm. There's maybe like 5 things out of potential. No, it's not at all. Get out of here.
Things.
Well, plus,
okay, Forza's one of them.
Plus, it's hard to say like I know it because you don't know. It's not like I've seen the list or I've seen a trailer. It's just like people who are always very always usually pretty right will be like, oh, I've heard such and such. So we'll see what happens after. We'll see. Silas says, Rand, back in your Achievement Gigolo days where you'd play anything with the gamer score, were there any games where you went into with no expectations but turned out to be fun experiences? Yeah, all the time. Yep. All the time.
Really? That's good.
Yeah, a lot of like the arcade racers back then, like Split Second. A lot of those type.
Split Second looked cool even in the trailers.
It did, but I wasn't really that much of a racing fan so much before, so I kind of shied away from those games. So my expectations for stuff like Forza Horizon 1 and Split Second were kind of low. And then I eventually loved them. And yeah, there's other games that were really good. Like I can't really think. I played so many of them, you can't really think off the top of my head. But I mean, that's bound
Forza
to be.
Horizon 1.
That's bound to be. But there's also games where you play that you thought you'd enjoy that you wouldn't like. So it's kind of is what it is. Nate Miller says, "Okay, mystery host. This one's for you." So this one's for you guys. What is something nobody agrees with you about?
Everything.
Everything?
What is something that nobody agrees with me about? I think a lot of people do agree with me. Actually, no. I'll say it, and chat will lambast me for it. Halo Infinite is a failure.
Halo Infinite is a failure? I mean, doesn't Xbox sort of agree with that? They got rid of like virtually everybody at the studio.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
I still get people fighting me for it all the time because I was scathing of Halo from day one.
But you said everybody.
I'm a Halo fan.
You said everybody.
So,
but I agree with you though.
Wow. Are you sure you want to?
I mean, no. Like I'm talking about when you look at it from a financial Xbox perspective. Yeah, I think Halo Infinite underperformed in all their metrics. It's one of the reasons why everybody at the studio was essentially let go, and they have new leadership there. You don't do that to a studio that is successful. You do it because Halo Infinite didn't hit any of their metrics. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty apparent. Like, take your personal feelings about how you feel about Halo Infinite as a game and how the multiplayer is really good, right? I don't think Gaz is saying Halo Infinite's a failure from that perspective. I think he's talking about it's just a failure as like a product that Microsoft put out to try to make money. And I think Microsoft views it as that, which is why everybody's gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. It failed as a Halo game. And ultimately,
see, I don't know. I don't know if it failed as a Halo. I would disagree with you on that. I think it.
No. I mean, I know, no, not as in. That's a dangerous saying there. That completely doesn't. As a Halo game, in the sense that it played well, it had great campaign. Well, the campaign had potential. The 10-year plan was a lie. Multiplayer cosmetics, all of that stuff. Problems aside, in terms of gameplay, smooth. Other quality of life updates that didn't have like region filters, blah blah blah. But the game was good. But in terms of it failed as a game, it failed as a Halo game. I mean, it just failed to hit the quality mark in total in terms of, the content quality mark. He just got rid of those legacy titles, legacy features, and content. Halo failed on content, and as a game, Halo's standards are so high. I think Halo it's unfair on Halo. It's a double-edged sword. Halo has to do some things that other games don't have to do, and it's crazy. If you think about it, Halo has to have an incredible single-player campaign that is just great.
It has to have a co-op campaign too. Level. Gotta have co-op
and it has
too.
to have co-op. It has to have co-op. It has to have Forge, a map builder day one. It's great, and what they did with Forge is incredible, but they didn't do it day one. But they have to have a map creator, and you have to have multiplayer. And they failed on this part. They didn't innovate the multiplayer, so it didn't have Warzone, which is equivalent in Halo Infinite. But in other senses, they did well. But other games don't have to have that ceiling. They don't have that demand. And I think, looking back on some things like The Last of Us, Naughty Dog are incredibly talented. People say they're top tier. I would say they're a few levels below Rockstar, considerably in my opinion, but fine. But Naughty Dog can't even get multiplayer right. I'm sorry, you're not changing the wheel here. Factions was good. A lot of PlayStation fans keep crying, defending it, and I'm not even antagonizing them on that point because Factions was good. So don't pretend that multiplayer was a side piece. Like, yes, the single player was very strong, but it was people ever kept crying about Factions being incredible, and I agree with them because it was good. It had potential, and the Last of Us faction hasn't come out for how long? It's a massive failure, but that should actually. I know it's not the same thing. It's not an excuse. I'm not saying. I'm just trying to give perspective. And me of all people, 343, even despite all the money they're given, they still had this impossible this very, very high bar. And Halo fans like me are unrelenting in our demand because we really hold it to that esteem for many reasons. But Halo had a tough time with COVID, with all the leadership and all the problems that they've just plucked out. And you got the guy, what's his name? I forgot his name, but his pronunciation everyone gets wrong. But he fixed the Master Chief Collection. That was no small feat, man. That was a technical like feat of considerable proportions. Here, Pince, or here, Vince. So, Hintze, sorry, Pierre Hintze. And, if they show something like Tatanka even at the showcase, I'm not expecting it, but that would be incredible. I want to see Halo in its best form. And Tatanka is like a side piece, but visually it might bring it back. I don't know if we would see it, because didn't just see bits of Tatanka. Did he say he'd seen it, or we know about it?
No.
Oh,
he hasn't.
Yeah.
He has not seen Tatanka or Tatanka.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be at the thing. But very interesting question, and then it just had to be you, because then you get into the whole Halo, is it a success or a failure? So thank you for the question, Nate Miller. Appreciate it. We have Tricks R for Trey. If the ABK deal goes through, what are your thoughts on Treyarch or Infinity Ward making a COD-style ODST game or something to do with Halo ODSTs?
I think ODSTs have a lot of like. I thought ODSTs are overrated for some reason, because if you know the story of the ODST, basically in terms of gameplay, I wanted them to be a lot more slow paced and more vulnerable. But that's a different discussion. But ODST, the community, I'm sure they hear it. There's an ODST live film, like fan film, being made by Stephen, I think it's Ford, is on Twitter. He's like funding it. Like, ODST is such a big name in Halo lore that someone is actually making considerable, life investment to make this a short movie. So ODST is big, and I think that Halo should be diversified. I think the world is insane. You can tell so many different stories in so many different ways. I would also like the notion of other studios taking their take on it. Machine Games running a Halo spin-off. Tell story of, I don't know, pick a story from the lore. Yeah, you know what I would love? I would absolutely adore a not humans, but the precursor Forerunner war. If people know about, I'm not going to bore people with Halo lore, but that game's premise was insane. It blows any Halo canon story out of the Halo later mainline story out of the water. Like, you had the precursors that created the Forerunners, that created the humans, and this massive space galactical wars. So many mini stories were told by Greg Bear. That game, Machine Games, they tell incredible stories. Let them, I was a bit disappointed. At the same time, I'm optimistic, because 343 feels strongly that they can handle the mantle of responsibility. But, I would like that to happen. ODST, I think you will long-term see it come back in some shape or form. I hope not bastardized version as a faction in the, Battle Royale game. But,
I don't know. I would like to see something from Halo from those studios, but realistically, I don't think they'll be taking off Call of Duty. And I don't even know if those studios would even want to make a Halo game. They might want to do their own stuff, right? So, I mean, I guess they could make a COD style. Like, it wouldn't be anything like a Halo ODST. Maybe it could be like a COD style ODST, or maybe just like Infinity Ward could make a zombie game, like a full-fledged zombie game or something. There is even some LinkedIn post that suggests they are working on another game that isn't Call of Duty. That the thing is, like, we don't know. We don't know when the deal is going to go through. We don't know if the deal is going to go through. We don't know what Activision's plans would be with those studios, if they're actually going to go every other year with Call of Duty and not every year. We've already seen them kind of go back on that, right, guys? Because this year was not supposed to be a new Call of Duty game, and now it is. And it's one of those. The deal's
stalled.
Terrible. Well, yeah, I mean, the deal's stalled, and I think they're going to miss all that revenue. So if they're still required to put out a Call of Duty game every 3 years, then they're probably not going to be able to make anything else, because that's how, games take a long time to make now. So it'll be interesting to see what their plans would be once the deal goes through. And maybe
they've already said it though, Rand. They're going to make it biannual.
They said that, but then they went back on it immediately. And there's a new Call of Duty game this year.
No, but only because the deal got stalled. I
don't know if it had anything to do with the deal getting stalled.
I think it absolutely has to do with the deal. I think it changes the complete Activision. and their Infinity Ward, they are under tremendous pressure. Do you know how much money COD rakes in? But that doesn't mean, yeah, but Activision is madly aggressive. That's why they killed Tony Hawk. But it's like madly aggressive. They demand games coming out. They need to keep scaling those profits. They are very aggressive. But it feels like they need breathing space as well to justify any kind of hiatus. How I expect this to happen, if it ever goes through, and it should be, at least it should be biannual. It should be biannual, and then you know that a studio has been given time to create something, a special, Call of Duty. Call of Duty games have been okay so far, but I think this is one of the ways the consolidation will help Call of Duty as well. They will let the studio do other things as well. Phil Spencer has already said that he'd like that to revisit older IPs. Everyone talks about Prototype, but it's the Blizzard's side as well that desperately needs help. But Call of Duty, in my opinion, will definitely take a break post acquisition. You will see it almost immediately in my guessing. But it depends on when in the year when they start planning and developing. But it will be immediately. They won't, if they can, abandon any development on any forward Call of Duty, because it'll calm him down a bit. So, all right, we have a space now. We got a little bit of a buffer for Microsoft, because it's 70 billion you're invested quite deeply now. So yeah, and developers will put pressure on internal studio heads and publishers and say, hey, no, we need to take time.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they've already said that, but we'll see. Well, I mean, it's a lot of money to spend and then a lot of revenue to lose if you go every other year, right? We'll see what happens. So Loki says, do you think there'll be any shadow drops in the Xbox showcase, sort of like Hi-Fi Rush was? I mean, there could be the Hi-Fi Rush expansion. The achievements were leaked on Steam, so that could be an easy, hey, we shadow dropped the game back in January. Here's a shadow drop of an expansion. Play it now. I think Jez and myself were kind of expecting something Fallout related, like, oh, play the Fallout 4 update, the current gen update that they promised. That's going to be 4K 60 for free. So I think that could be a shadow drop. Well, we'll see. Achievement.
Redfall.
Who do you see winning a war? The Con Maker and the Maker Race from Doom, or the Prophets and the Covenant in Halo? That'd be an interesting fight. Doom versus Halo.
So wait, hold on. Did he say who did he say on the Doom side?
I mean, the Con Maker and the Maker Race, or the Prophets and the Covenant.
Oh, definitely the Maker Race.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Doom
was stupid. Doom would win that easily. The Covenant were just basically their army. Whereas
the Covenant get rolled by the Doom enemies, right?
Yeah.
So
now you're talking about next Angels, brev.
Yeah, we got Jay Foley. Do you both see the mid-gen upgrades for Xbox being worth it or not? I feel the Series X is more powerful to handle any game we currently have coming out in the next 3 years.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Look, this is a massive U-turn from me because of the way the power thing has panned out. Cross-gen development apparently is a massive headache, and it's just completely soiled the waters this gen as far as hardware enhancement, and obviously COVID is a big factor to that. So now, when previously I was saying no freaking mid-gen, that's lame. I do agree with you. We have not seen the power of the X to its potential, but it seems like development doesn't work like that when you're working across lots of different devices. So get a mid-gen console out there so I can comfortably hit 60 FPS on all my games. I will buy it. It's 3 years now, and as you get older, you spend money on crap like phone upgrades every 2 years. It's like almost over. My phones are over $1,000 now. Like what? You're granted you use your phone every day, but consoles, I've changed my mind on this completely. I will buy a mid-gen console every 2 years because I'm just different now. I just don't want to go back to PC. I just so burnt out with PC gaming. So I will buy a mid-gen console. And I think you will too. And I think most people
100%. 100%. I mean, only you can determine whether or not something's worth it for you. Xbox is something I play every day. So if they offered a next gen upgrade in 2025, that is $600. Yeah, I'd buy it because it's something I play on every single day. It's worth the money to me. Now, if it's Xbox is something you not really play that much, then probably not. So it really depends. If we're going to start getting a lot of next gen only titles, current gen only titles, will we see? Because a lot of them have kind of only been stuck at 30, with the 60 FPS patch coming later. So it's tough to say if it'd be worth it or if the developers are even getting as much as they can out of these systems, because I don't think they are. I don't even think developers are getting enough out of the Series S. Like, you'll see what was the game that just announced a 60 FPS patch for, I think, Shadow Warrior 3 and stuff. And even Digital Foundry talked about how Diablo 4 is literally amazing on the Series S. Like, it's just a resolution downgrade. But time and resources aren't unlimited. Developers only have so much time and almost so much money to make a game, and they have deadlines to hit, that sometimes you just aren't able to optimize as much as you would want for certain consoles, or all the consoles at all. That's why you see Star Wars Jedi Survivor come out and have one of the worst performance modes of all time, essentially.
Yeah.
It's just,
shame.
There's just, just kind of the way it is. Yeah, I love Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I thought it was great.
You completed it?
Yeah, I beat it. Of course I beat it. Come on.
It's such a good game. I just don't want to play it in that mode. Even Fonz has stopped playing it, and he was berating me for not playing in perf mode, let alone play it. But now he can't play it. He says he loves the game. And so do I. It's such a good game. It's basically like the Uncharted 2 of that era has come out, and you can't play it because of the performance problems.
Yeah.
This is across the board though.
Would a much more powerful Series X2 alleviate that problem? Maybe, but then again,
not for Star Wars, because the PCs are struggling on that.
Yeah, PCs are even struggling with it as well. Yeah. But I would totally get a Series X upgrade. Lee Sanders says, "Hey Rand, do you think Jez will come back from his meetings with Xbox, or do you think it's a ruse and it's a modern tale of the Wicker Man?" In all seriousness, though, curious what you think needs to be done to the achievements for Xbox. What would you like to see come and go from the platform? I mean,
that's interesting.
I've already given feedback to people at Xbox. They need a completion, like completed games and stuff. I feel like that is missing. Other than that, I mean, that's all I really cared about is like completed games. I know some people will talk about separating achievement lists, like the DLC and stuff. I would like.
What made you do that, by the way? I've always wondered that. I've never asked you. What made you race for 1 million?
Well,
at a certain point, you must have sat there right, I'm gonna spend the considerable part of my gaming life this gen destroying game. I mean, it's incredible you did that, but you must have sat there. Was there a moment where you thought,
what happened was, so even before that, even the generation before that, I always played as many games as I possibly could, right? I'd go up to Blockbuster, rent some games. I think I signed up for GameFly in 2013, so I was getting games emailed. I was getting games not in 2003 mailed to me just to play on my Xbox and my GameCube and my PlayStation. I just love playing as many new games as I could, right? And then the 360 came out, and it had your history, and it had achievements, and I got hooked immediately, and I was like, oh man, I'm already playing everything. Now here's this whole thing where you can get points for it all. So I started, and I already was a member at GameFly. So I started getting all the launch titles and playing as much as I could. And I found myself really enjoying it, right? I found myself finding games that I really like to play. And I met some really cool people in the community, especially back then.
You were part of a community then.
Well, especially back then, there was a community because it was so brand new. Yeah. Friendship started over it. And then anything with the leaderboard, people started cheating. Right, lots of people started cheating, and then there was a community of people who were so against cheating that then I became friends with all them. We started talking all the time, and I didn't really have any intentions of, hitting 1 million or being one of the top ones to do it until Microsoft actually stepped in and reset all the people's gamer scores who cheated to 0. They came in and was like, if you cheated, we're setting it to 0. So suddenly I'd be on the leaderboard. I was like 100th, right? Like whatever.
Oh, you did
And then suddenly Xbox reset everybody, and suddenly I was in like the top 15.
No way.
And I was like,
That's
all
crazy.
right, well, like, let me just kind of do this. And I, stayed with it. And eventually, I think I got up into the top 5. I think when I finished, I was like the 5th, I never had any intentions of being number 1. Because there were some years that I didn't really game that much, where I played Halo for more often. But yeah, there was like the sense of community, meeting friends that like basically game just like you. And then like seeing like, oh, okay, so I am actually up high. Let me see if I can do something here. And then I don't know. I really liked playing as many games. That's why I still do it now, even though I'm not really into the whole gamer score thing. Where I'll try to get many points as I can, or if I like something, I'll try to get as much as possible. But I try to play as many games as I possibly can, and I try to beat them all. But notice, Gaz, I always like ask people, have you beaten the game? Because people are like, oh, I played this, but to me, it's like, nah, did you beat it?
Yeah,
like how many games you beat it? Like,
I agree with
did you just load it up and play it for 10 minutes and turn it off? You
have to beat the game. Yeah, I mean, there's always that pressure. You have to beat the game, because otherwise your opinion on it is incomplete because it's not informed fully. So I feel that. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Beating the game was always really important to me. So, Raj says, Rand, are you going to play Persona 3 Reloaded, a 2024 Game Pass game for which a trailer was posted yesterday by Atlas accidentally? Don't just listen to Jez about it being demonic Pokemon. Ask the guest host for a second opinion. Persona 3 has most of the new elements that make the subsequent games also great, and you might actually finish Persona 5 before Jez. I mean, right now I don't have any intentions of playing Persona 3 Reloaded. I mean, there was a time where I was like, maybe I should play Persona 5, and maybe I will. Maybe I will play Persona 5, and if I do play Persona 5 and like it,
be surprised.
I would play Persona 3. But what do you think? He wants second opinion for you, because Jez thinks I would hate Persona.
That's a very good super chat. Whoever did that Patreon question, sorry, because I wouldn't. Yeah, what you've answered is pretty much what I expected. You wouldn't play. I don't know, man, because it is very Japanese, and only very recently have you had an affinity. Not saying affinity, but you discovered some. And I was gonna say hentai.
Hentai. Where's your head at?
I was gonna say, I forgot the word. I actually genuinely was gonna say hentai. Anime. So you watched, like, obviously you're new anime, but what did you watch?
I watched Vinland Saga.
Okay.
Vinland Saga was amazing.
Okay, I've heard good things, but like, I don't know if you like the style of it, because a lot of Persona, you're set in school and you're talking to a cat and you go back to school. And, school life is such a big part of a Japanese anime style. Like, it's also very weird. Like, I don't know if I'm not sure if you like it. But you might do. It's one of those where I'm just guessing. Doesn't feel like it's a Randolph 19 game. But I really enjoyed it. I like the loop of it, but I felt that game should be on handheld. But I don't know if you'll like it. I don't know if
we'll see.
Like it.
Maybe one day I'll play Persona 5, and if I like it, I can always play 3, right? So, let's see what else we got here. We have a question from Parker Petrov. Says, Rand, do you play the Horizon games, Zero Dawn and Forbidden West? As I never hear you talk about those games. I have not played Forbidden West. I played about an hour of Horizon Zero Dawn, but I kind of was burnt out at open world games at the time. So I've always been meaning to go back to play Horizon Zero Dawn, as I do own Forbidden West as well. It's just, that's the problem with these games being on a console I don't turn on every day. It's one of those things where it's like, I turn on my Xbox and I look for games on my Xbox backlog that I haven't played. It'd probably be a different story if I turned on my PlayStation every day, because then I'd be like, all right, let me play Horizon. That's one of the reasons why I don't even think about Zelda, because my Switch isn't even hooked up to the TV.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like I turn on my Xbox, I get in the parties with people, I'll play something or something else comes out, and that's like the first priority. But no, I do have plans on playing both of them at some point, right? So
I would prioritize Zelda over it.
Well, I mean, I was thinking I'll play maybe, there's the rumors that Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remake of some kind. Maybe that's when
Oh my
I'll get into the
God.
franchise
Doesn't
and
need
then
one.
I don't know. I'm just saying there's rumors that are out there, right?
Yeah, it's stupid though if it happens. It's such an L if that's something. If Horizon Zero Dawn is having a remake, are you taking the piss?
I mean, I don't
Like
think it'll
even
be like a
PlayStation guys
I
need
don't
to
think it'll
take
be a
stance.
remake like Last of Us was. Maybe it is. I mean, there is that whole Horizon TV show coming out. They could potentially want to angle it where, you know,
Yeah.
the game has like an actual, you know, like native
This is
PS5
soulless.
version. I don't know.
This is so soulless. I would be so pissed. Chat, are we being easy on PlayStation here? Because imagine if that was Xbox and they're doing remakes, remasters. They focused completely on gas, even though we're not averse to gas. And then they're just pushing out games that seem to be tying in conveniently with movie releases.
Well, I mean, what about the Gears collection? Wouldn't that be a similar situation?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid.
But I mean, it's not like but it's not like the
I'm not a fan of
coalition. It's not like the coalition would be making it. It's probably not even like Guerrilla would be doing the remake. They just would have somebody else make it, right? I'm sure the coalition's all their time.
Horizon doesn't need a remake. Coalition, at least the collection is at least 3 games. How far back is the oldest game going to? Is it Gears 1, 2, and 3?
I mean, it'd be essentially be 1, 2, and 3. So 2006,
Gears
2008,
2011
or whatever.
Back and get a remake. Horizon Zero Dawn already looks good enough. I don't know, man. It's like Horizon Zero Dawn, a whole generation later. You comparing that now, man. Gears Collection is fine if it's remade, and if you remake them, if they're remasters, waste of money, man. I just find it's pointless. I don't know why people are hyped about it, unless I've got the wrong idea of what constitutes a Gears Collection. Because if it's a remake, okay, even I'm interested. But yeah, I sort of Horizon, PlayStation, man, they suck. They're so lame. This is in the short term, though. I think that will change. Maybe you've been just being a bit reactive. And also, Sony do get the benefit of the doubt. They actually got their movie thing good, The Last of Us, even though I haven't watched it. Sorry, I was rambling.
It's okay. It's okay. James Moore says, as a former Sparky, do you find yourself doing your own work in your house? No. I've kind of forgotten most of the things. I mean, I could change some of the basic stuff, but I don't really remember a lot of stuff I did when I was an apprentice and things like that. So no, I don't really do a lot of that. I mean, like, yeah, okay, there was like a switch that needed to be replaced and some wires that need to be pulled. Sure, no problem, right? But anything more than that, I just nah. It's been a long time since I did that type of work. Bickwoman 14 says, Rand, what's your thoughts of the Wheel of Time Amazon adaptation? Personally, I thought it was meh. Also, your guys' favorite anime. Gaz, keep up the great work. Thanks for the weekly content. I mean, I thought the Wheel of Time Amazon adaptation was okay. I was higher on it before, and then as the season went on, especially the last episode, I just did not like it all. So I'd probably give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Hopefully season 2's way better. I can't wait for the trailer for that. My favorite anime, I mean, I guess the only one I've really watched is Vinland Saga, so that would be it for me. What's your favorite anime, Gaz?
I just watched Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter?
What is it called? Yeah.
People
Is
love
it called Demon Hunter?
I think
Season
it's
2.
called, yeah, I think it's called that.
Yeah, I watched the Mugen Train arc, and then I watched the whole season. I always get the name wrong. Demon Slayer, isn't it? Yeah, Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I know you're the one who watches it, not me.
That's me. So that was Jujutsu Kaisen is really good. You need to watch, bro. Just watch it. I want to see you all react. There's some really good stories, man. Like contrary to all where you think it's you just think it's like and some tentacles come and it's just like some panties and stuff. It's not like that. Yeah, there's some incredible stories. There's so many stories that Hollywood steals in like Ghost in the Shell and The Matrix. Come on, man. Like, I just get. I know you guys and Deal are like, it's all, and Cole as well. Like, anime, lame. Shut the frick up and listen. At least you watch it. Colt's actually open to watching it as well. My propaganda's working. But yeah, man, watch Jujutsu Kaisen. Really good.
Okay, we have a super chat here from Highlander001, do you think that we will get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X Pro? I am tired of damn remakes and want new games. The Microsoft show will be fire. I mean, according to Tom Henderson, we definitely are getting a PS5 Pro. So
Yep. He was right on the handheld.
He's right on the other stuff, so it's probably true on that.
So does that mean Xbox has to do the same? Interesting. I don't think they had the plan to do it.
I don't know. It's one of those things where they would already have decided about doing that. Would have already been decided at the beginning of the generation if they're doing a mid-gen upgrade. So I don't know. We'll eventually find out. Maybe they do it like a year later after PlayStation. I don't know. I hope they do because I want one. And Omen, final Patreon question: is this finally the showcase of dreams?
I want to believe. I want to believe. I think the potential is there. That's the thing. That's the sensible take. I'm gonna go hype, and after all the energy, I will say the same thing. Everything is set up for it to succeed. Everything is set up for this to be one of the best showcases. And I don't think our expectations are out there.
I know what my expectations are. I mean, I know what I'm expecting and what I want. I think it's gonna be a damn good show. I think it's gonna be really good. So
I think everything's set up there. It's set up.
It's all set up.
Man. Come on, bring it home. Bring it home. Like King David says, hold the line. I wasn't holding the line. And I will always be like that. I'll be the guy who snorts the line. But I'm just saying, I can never be fully comfortable and have faith in Microsoft. They will deliver. I will never be that. And I don't think the community, if they have any value in me, needs me to be that. I need to be unrelenting. And I think, I love King David, and I love the hold the line. I wish I could be that him. But
you're the sauce. King David's hold the line. You're the sauce.
Exactly. He's the king. He's the king. And everyone here has their role in this war. Someone's gonna clip that and make my life hell. Next question, please.
Well, actually, that's all the Patreon questions we have.
Oh,
so, I think that's the end of the show. I think that's where we're gonna wrap it. I know we're a little bit over 3 hours. I didn't want to keep you as long as we do jazz, right?
You do realize after this I have to make the sauce video, so thank you.
I know you do. You have to make the sauce video, so I want to thank you very much for coming on and helping me out, because otherwise there probably wasn't going to be a show. I know you have.
You're welcome.
I know you have your show tomorrow.
I
know you got your show tomorrow. Let people know what you're going to be talking about and who you got with you tomorrow on Go Live, the Saturday evening talk show.
I got the king of holding the line. Yes. King David is back in this space. And I've got someone who is making their debut on the show. So I don't want to spoil their grand reveal. But whoever that person is, you picked a great time because you're going to be with King David tomorrow. Go live. Hype. Ultimate hype. Hold the line. It's going to be an epic show, man. I'm so excited.
Yes. We're in the chat's super excited. So...
yeah, Rand was supposed to be there, but was too busy.
Well, dude, I've had 4 people ask me to be on their shows on Saturday. I literally podcasted for 17 hours last week. I am done. I'm like, next week I'm doing just one show. I'm doing my show, right? Because the following week I'm doing Dirk Riggity's show on Monday, Infinite Umbra's show on Thursday. Obviously, we're doing Xbox 2 on Tuesday. And then we're doing a supersized Xbox 2 with guests on Friday.
Oh my god!
So lot of podcasting. I just wanted this week to just be chill, and it is going to be chill. We got a last second super chat from BT Maverick. Rand, just say, "What's this here sauce?" really fast for Worcester sauce. What's this here sauce? Okay. And speaking of sauce, Gaz bringing that Carolina Reaper heat as always. Speaking the truth. Much appreciated, gents. Thank you.
Shout out to you,
for the first super chat from BT Maverick. Yes. So, Sunday I will be streaming the show. If you want to watch the show with me, I'll be streaming it live. You can see my reactions, or you can hear my reactions. I'm gonna be very interested. I've done it the last 2 years. So I'm gonna do it again. People have asked for it. So Sunday, join me. we'll stream the show together. I'll probably start an hour before the show goes live, so we can just have a nice little chat. Just be me, and just be me and nobody else. Because Gaz is gonna have his own thing. Everybody's gonna have their own thing.
Yeah.
And Sony's not going to Gamescom again. I mean, they haven't gone in 4 years, so of course they're not gonna go. And then, Gaz, tomorrow, make sure you go and support Game On Daily, the Saturday evening gaming talk show with Gaz and Asa. And Sunday is going to be a big day, and then a big week for podcasts and videos from me. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. We hit 95,000 during the show, so 5,000 more to go. And hit that like button. Thank you to all the Patreons for your questions and all your support. And thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this episode. And don't forget, you can go to hellofresh.com/Xbox216 and use the code Xbox216 for 16 free meals plus shipping. That's a lot of free meals. So that's it for me and Gaz. We love you.
Thank you.
Get hyped for the show on Sunday. Join me to watch. And with that,
we're going to go live.
We're out of here. Later, everybody. Keep it gaming.